going on inside the biz? Shit ain't raw no more. Fake is how it is. I hear brothers talking about shooting and killing and going home and chilling, fronting like a villain. Let me tell you something real. It's how the Mac feel. I ain't no criminal and represent no steel. I tell you one thing though, if you better walk slow, the Mac's on the earth to let you know. I'm on a mission from the kingdom of God to do away with MCs representing them rhyme. Your MCs have been too bad, so where you go now, ice you're gonna wish you had. When you disappear, it's my fault, cause it's time to put all the madness to a flying halt. And radio needs to be ashamed for pumping murder, murder, murder all up in our brain. I tell you now, Big Papa don't like it. Represent the truth when the Mac starts to mic it. I hope the subject don't turn you away, but the whole hip-hop generation need to pray. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You can front now, but when God gone, you can't get strapped for when God gone. Cause you won't know how to act when God comes. Now we all established Craig Max new king, and the king for his people got to represent the right thing. Brothers in the ghetto stop genociding, cause the same boat we riding will do like the Poseidon. I watch the Earth's cheese line getting longer. I watch allegiance to Satan's armies getting stronger. I watch drugs and guns take control. I even watch how the devil took the black woman's soul. They ain't got respect no more. When your ass is on the camera, you ain't nothing but a whore. Ladies, you need to help out your man instead of fronting at the club with a drink in your hand. The black family is now prehistoric, and we don't need psychic healing from Dionne Warwick. We all need to be down on our knees, begging please, Lord help us shake this disease. And MCs don't take these rhymes for a joke, with Max Penn is mightier than this water stroke. So take heed to the words that I sing, cause on Judgment Day every man must attend. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? You can front now, but when God comes, you can't get strapped for when God comes. Cause you won't know how to act when God comes. What you gonna do when God comes? You can front now, but when God comes, you can't get strapped for when God comes. Cause you won't know how to act when God comes. All black leaders are throwing on their war paint. I ain't seen a saint that might make me faint. How long can we sing that song, knowing that the shit we're kicking, brothers, is dead wrong? And don't figure Magnum to get started, cause I flip an old fat verse from Get Retarded. I'm talking from a veteran's chair, prepare MC's nightmare, audience, no need to fear. Shape up, the Lord's about to strike. With thunderclaps that can turn day into night. With something similar to Gabriel's horn, the first flag is up, my tribe of Judah's now been worn. Peace the bad boy for bringing me here. People of the world presenting Mac this year. No need for fronting, his time has almost came, and the last rhyme you're hearing bears Craig Mac's name. What you gonna do when God comes? You can front now, but when God comes, you can't get strapped for when God comes. Then you won't know how to act when God comes. What you gonna do when God comes? Lord's about to come. You can front now, but when God comes, you can't get strapped for when God comes. God comes, you won't know how to act when the Lord comes.
Let's do a sound check. Let me make sure my microphone is ready. Who with me? Let me change this light over. Who's with me? Let me know if the mic is right. Short show today. Got a few things on my mind, and then I'm going to piece everybody out. It's one of them days. Let's get the mic right. Let's get it right. I don't know if I'm necessarily going to need a red mic today, but I'm feeling it right this minute, so I better take this thing slow. What's good with everybody? Who with me? Let me know if you're here. Where we at? Mic sound nice. Thank you, Donna. What up, Roz? What up, Carolyn Smith? What's happening? What's up, V? Vernon. That's the nickname, V. Mike, good. Thank you, Andrea. Appreciate it. Where are the? Let's do this one. Let's do this one before we get started. Let me just say what's up to everybody. Let's cheers to this. Let's cheers. If you got a drink in your hand, put it up. I'm drinking Mountain Dew today. I get a little Mountain Dew. I get a little it has a lot of energy. You know what I'm saying? Got a lot of caffeine. It got a lot of ready in it. I needed it today. Got a lot of work in today. Even got me a little lift in before I came on today. Normally, I finish my day after the show from working and I get my lift in, okay, after I finish working. Well, I'm reversing it today. Thank you, Crystal. Thank you, Terry. What's up, Regina? Sabrina, what's up, Queen? I'm here. I need a little lift me up. I need a little bit. What I need, what? Oh, okay. Sorry, that's got a text message. What's good with everybody? How we doing? We good? Let me do this before I get started. Like I said, I was going to toast everybody, say what's up, give everybody something. Oh, well, Roz is smoking. I don't smoke, but here you go, Roz. Put it up in the air for me one time. Take one for the homie. There you go. Cheers, homie. Take you a puff. Pass it on. Never been a smoker. I was always an athlete, so that was my excuse. Thank you, Vernon. He says sound is loud and clear. Excuse me. Sound is loud and crystal clear. Thank you, brother. I appreciate all the people. You know, what I'm learning is I have we, not just me. We have a consistent group here. I'm cool with that. That's when I know we doing something right. We don't have to be the biggest. We just have to be consistent. What I've learned in business is consistency is the key to success. It's not necessarily being the biggest. It's being consistent. Crystal said at work drinking coffee. Here, Crystal, put one in the air. Let's get it. Crystal, I'm going to be honest with you. Between your coffee and my Mountain Dew, we might as well be smoking crack. I'm just playing. Woo, you know they going to hurt me in the DMs for saying that. Crystal, you know I'm kidding, but I'm just telling we got a lot of energy going on. Unless you drinking decaf, probably not. Who the hell want to drink coffee? What's the point in drinking coffee if you can't be caffeinated? You know what I mean? You got to have that energy. Ross says Wyatt need a spliff. Okay, y'all know I'm old. And I know what it used to be, but you gotta be careful these days, Ross. Shit ain't always the same. You know what I'm saying? If a spliff is what I think it is, I don't need that, homie. The last time I smoked a spliff, I was 17, 18. All right, Sabrina, give you one too. If you got a cup, put it up. I'll give you a toast. I was 17, 18. Let me tell you who I was. I shouldn't say. I'm not going to say no names. I'm not going to do that. I was sitting in Lincoln Courts with some partners of mine, and we was over somebody's mama house, and she wasn't there, and I smoked a joint with my partners. It was back when you would roll a whole half an ounce up in one joint. That's when shit was getting different. Okay? I'm very transparent. I smoked weed once. I smoked it one time. I smoked hash one time over in Europe. I've smoked it before. I don't know why. I was 17. I guess I just was in that mode where, okay, I'm going to try this shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why I did it. I guess the influence, I don't know, because I've never let anybody influence me. That was my decision. You feel me? Let me get this camera right if you guys don't mind as I'm talking. And me and my partner sat down and smoked. I took a few hits, and that's all it took. Because what I did is I was sitting there and they was like, bro, you zoned out. Like you gone. You zoned out. And I was just like this at the table, looking out the window. You know how Lincoln Courts was. The kitchen, you had the window, and I was just looking out the window. I don't even remember what I was doing. I was blistered, toe up. And shit. Yeah, it was a while back ago, Roz. I ain't gonna lie, bro. It was that long ago. So I've never been a weed smoker because let's just say this. There was an old saying back in the day, don't get high on your own supply. I always was in love, not in love, but I always had the money in mind. The money was always more important to me. I didn't want to smoke I didn't want that life. The life, it wasn't it, bro. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't it. I was doing what I was doing for a purpose. You had cats out here lying and shit, talking about some, Donna said, what is hash? It ain't crack, all right? It's the African weed. It's called hashay. Okay, it's like weed. It looked like you know what it looked like? Some of y'all professional dope fiends and shit, y'all know. I'm just playing. But what hash is, here we are educating people on drugs and shit, and I'm not trying to do that. But I'm just saying hash is, it looks like a Kit Kat. All right, it looks like a Kit Kat bar, a candy bar, and it breaks off like a Kit Kat. But it's really like weed compounded. If you call it weed, it's not really weed, but it's it's like it's compounded. It's like really, really tight, air compressed. You feel me? And it's really just like weed. And I tried it one time when I was in high school. All right, I had African buddies. I had friends that was from all over the place. I was overseas at this time. I was in Europe at this time, so I had partners that was like from other countries that had the same type of rhythm that I had. So we was all, I had to try to let them know I was down, I was cool, and this and this and that. I was dumb, I was stupid, but hash was just like weed. It didn't have a reputation of being some type of mind-blowing thing, and it had you out there jumping from stuff to this to that. You know what I'm saying? See, Roz, no, he smoke it. He said, I bet if he can get a hold of it, he would, because it'll blow it. It ain't got, weed ain't got shit on hashay. I'm telling y'all, if you are a weed smoker, bro, I bet you, I don't know, because I'm not out in the streets like that, but I bet you hash would be $500 an ounce if you can get a hold of that shit. I don't know. I've never even seen hashay in America. I've never seen anybody smoke it in America. Now, I could be wrong. I can show y'all how far off. I ain't seen nobody catch a case with it. I've been in this shit for 20, 25 years. And I've never seen a dude in front of a judge in Hamilton County, in Cincinnati, facing drug trafficking, and it was hash. I ain't never seen that. And I ain't seen nobody on a federal level with a hash case. I just haven't seen it. But it's the thing overseas. It's the thing over in Europe and, of course, Africa. But it's a little. It's just a concentrated. It'll blow weed away. I'm just telling you. And I ain't trying to get nobody hooked on it or nothing. It ain't nothing that I'm proud of. I was 16, 17 years old. And it was just something that I was in that mode. I was like, hey, let's see what this gonna do. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't inhale. How about that? But anyway, let's get to it, man. Listen, couple things. I was at the phone. Call back, caller. Call back. Quick thing, yo. I was watching my feed. I think on it was either Twitter or Instagram. It was one of those. Hey, what's up, MJ? And I seen that Drake had a concert. Now, I like Drake. Drake is more like a hip hop guy. Okay, he's changed up a whole lot. I don't know if you're gonna get a rap tune or some Madonna type shit out of Drake these days, but I like Drake because he's he can flow. Like his rap is pretty good. It's not like all that other shit. He tells stories, and it's usually relatable stories to a lot of folks, right? About love, about girlfriends, about situations, then he got the little battle edge. He can do, he's very versatile, but I like his music as well. I like the beats and stuff, okay? But he did a concert the other night, and what up, Terry? And for some odd reason, it looked like a sold out concert. I don't even know where it was. I'll get the information. He did a concert, and this lady brought a 1-year-old child. She said, Herb. You mean herb? It ain't herb, it's herb. Unless you're talking about something else. All right, and it brought a 1-year-old to a Drake concert. Did y'all hear about that? I watched it on a little video that came up on my feed, and I'm like, who the hell carries a 1-year-old to a concert, period? Now, y'all know not last week, but a little bit sometime last year, I showed a concert of a lady who took her 9 or 10-year-old to a concert. It was a hip-hop concert, and it was a throwback hip-hop concert. I think I don't remember the main singer. It was one of those girls, like, it wasn't Beyonce. It was somebody like Michelle. It was somebody like what's her name? I can't remember her name, but this lady brought a 9-year-old to a hip-hop concert, and y'all know it's mad smoking and mad drinking going on in the crowds. And this lady brings a 9-year-old. I played the video. The baby was sitting there like this. She was bored. It might have been a Beyonce concert, now that I think about it, because didn't Beyonce have like some rappers opening up for her tour last year in America? Didn't she have like who was it? Junior Mafia and a bunch of other people? Yeah, there you go. Princess Flower said it was Beyonce, Wyatt. Yeah, I think it was Beyonce. And see, Beyonce is such a global star. She has fans in all age categories. And I think you have to take that in consideration when you're a star. Like Beyonce, I'm not going to blame Beyonce, because every parent should know that when a concert starts at 8 o'clock at night, and that's when the first act come on, which is going to probably be 8:30 when they start, okay? Maybe even 9. Beyonce ain't coming on till 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. That's when she coming on to do her set. Maybe midnight. If you got a 9-year-old, why are you taking a 9-year-old to a concert full of hip-hop, old school hip-hop dudes that's up there scratching and swearing and cussing and fussing and get your ass off the stage? It was a mess. Some good songs, of course, yes. But a 9-year-old shouldn't be around that, okay? And if you're there to see Beyonce, by the time Beyonce come on, sis, the baby she sleep. She around all this. She probably got a contact off the smoke in the air. She toe up. She everything but ready to see Beyonce. Well, anyway, this one lady brings a 1-year-old with no headsets, no way to block the noise, to a Drake concert. I wish I had the clip. I should have recorded it and put it on here. It's just ridiculous. What parents are crazy. Parents today just don't do anything like we used to. They don't even talk like what we used to have to hear. They have total disregard. I don't know what's going on with some of these folks out here. I'm shocked that it's a Drake concert. I was shocked that it was a Drake concert, to be honest with you, because I think that his lineups on his tours are a little bit better. I know he has Savage 21. My daughter in Belmont, when she was at Belmont last year, she went to see 21 Savage on campus, okay? And Drake came out as a guest because they do things together. They work collaboratively. Drake wasn't on the tour, but Drake got some songs with this 21 Savage kid, right? And Drake popped out at the concert, and it made everybody go crazy, like, yeah. And they were over on the college campus. And I know they do that. Like, for instance, in Cincinnati, I wasn't there, but I heard LL Cool J, he was the headliner, and I heard he brought out DJ Run. That's what I love that. You didn't see it coming. Did anybody know that Run was coming with LL? No, those beasts, I don't think. I think it was a surprise. That's kind of how these guys do things sometimes. Sometimes a female artist will drop out on somebody and sing the hook of one of the songs that they're on a collab that they've done together. I think that's cool. I think that's real slick. And I think Drake puts concerts together, and he has certain lineups that's kind of appropriate for certain with all age groups that follow him. So yeah, Beyonce, I don't blame her, because you already know with a concert starting at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, that you should not have a 9-year-old in the building. You understand? You should not have I think the youngest person in the building should be Beyonce kids that are up on stage working. That's what I think. And but this 1-year-old at a Drake concert, there's no way. That person should probably be investigated. Child Protective Services need to be on that mama's ass. I'm just saying. That's my opinion. All right. I don't get that. That blew me away. I don't have all the details, but I know it's true because I've seen it on the news thing on my feed. But I'll get the details and maybe mention it again when we come back on, maybe tomorrow. Maybe I'll have a video because he stopped the concert. That's how I know it's real. Drake, he stopped his concert and addressed that 1-year-old being out in the stands like that. You see what I'm saying? So that's how I know it's real. Hold on, let me get this. Let me get my camera right. It's really messing up on me a little bit here. See if I can get this thing cleared up and working for me. Yeah, Drake ended up stopping the concert and asking the lady, what's going on with that? I mean, you ain't got no headphones for the baby, cover the ears. A 1-year-old should not be around all that boom, 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 and all them big speakers and crowd noise like that. You can ruin a child's eardrums. Their hearing. You can mess that up. So shout out to Drake for even bringing it up and stopping the concert, man. They probably should have they probably should have gave that lady her money back, and her child should have probably left that building. You feel me? That's what I would have did. I would have took the money right out of my pocket. How much you pay for them tickets? Okay, yeah. Here you go. We'll holler at you. Here, take this signed dollar, whatever. Here, take that. We'll holler. I appreciate you loving me so much that you're willing to do something this stupid, but I can't let you do that. And I probably would have gave her money back. See what I'm saying? I would have gave her money back and took a picture with her the whole nine, her and the baby. Yeah, all right. Kiss the baby and go. You got to go. That was worth the admission price right there. I'm gonna give you the money back and babe, don't do that. Don't do that. All right. That all being said, let me move on a little bit. Remember the other week I mentioned something about Dr. Umar Johnson, and I told you that I'm not trying to go in on bro, but bro getting really crazy with it. I don't know if y'all know this, but he had made a comment about his bank account was frozen. Okay, it's getting worse for bro. It's getting worse for him. Now he's in a position where he's losing the school because he is no longer he's not paying the fees, the registration fees, and some of the things that you have to do in order to have a charter school and thing, the fees and application charges and stuff like that have piled up on him. And now he's saying that he didn't see any of this stuff coming. And due to the fact that his accounts were hacked and somebody stole his money and it was the girl that he was messing with who was watching his mom, he got more excuses than a dude trying to get out of jail. And I'm just saying to myself, I'm going to disregard the DMs I got when I had a conversation about Dr. Umar Johnson. I didn't go hard. I didn't go as hard as I could have. Some people was like, bro, he's just having a hard time right now, man. Let it be. He's not having a hard time right now. He's having the time that he's supposed to get from the shit that he's been doing. Okay? Okay, I'm just being honest with you. He's not having a hard time in life right now. He's not going through sacrificial unfortunate situations. That's not what it is. These are called let me look for a very, very nice way of saying this. These are the repercussions of your action times. This is what happens when you fool people and you have and the gig is up. When you have misrepresented what you're trying to do in life, and now it's time to pay the cost because you're cornered. You can't. This goes for anybody that's running a con. I don't know any con that has ran a lifetime. Okay, I know some cons that went a long way, stretched out. People made a lot of money. But there are repercussions to stringing people along, getting paid, keeping people on the edge of their seat, making it seem like you for the people. Here's the thing. I was always taught. I ain't gonna even tell you who taught me this because you get mad. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say I have a diverse, I'll say mentor group growing up. Even when I didn't want to, even when I didn't want to listen to certain people because they didn't look like me, I was so lost in a way of not wanting to listen to people. And these people were actually on my team and they were trying to benefit me. And here's the thing, I had to learn at an early age that sometimes when you block your own blessings, you deal with what you got coming. You understand? Like, there's a lot of people out here, y'all block your own blessings because you have been brainwashed by someone else to believe that that other person is not worth your time. They just trying to fool you and blah, blah, blah. And the person that's really trying to get over on you is the one that's convincing you that the person that's there to help you is really the evil, bad person. That's us blocking our own blessings. And I learned, thank God, God put an instinct in me to allow me to listen to you say that about somebody, but I still paid attention to the person that you didn't want me to pay attention to. It's paid off. Dr. Umar Johnson, man, is as articulate as he is, as well diverse as he is in the English language. He is a perfect example of God giving someone a gift, and they utilize that gift, the intelligence, to take advantage of people. And that's what happened. You can hear how he talks about the lady that was watching his mom and how when he falls out with someone, here's what I've learned in life. You can tell a lot about a person when they're angry. There's two ways to get the truth out of somebody. Get them angry or get them drunk. You're going to get the same person. A drunk person will tell you exactly how they feel because they don't know any better. An angry person will tell you how they feel and be who they're going to be because they're drunk and they don't know any better. That's the same. Those two things have the same effect. And when Dr. Umar Johnson got mad at the young lady that he was having a little fling with or whatever, and she was watching his mom, that's the lady that he blames on stopping messing up his money with these accounts and stuff. He's now talking so bad about her. You would have never thought that this man ever in his life ever brought up the term Black Queen. You would think that he's just a dude from the block. You feel me? Like, you would think that Black Queen ain't never came out his mouth the way he defined this woman. I always thought it was a little shady. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I always thought it was a little bit shady for someone who's not married, who don't have kids. They have kids, they're not taking care of their kids. I always find it really odd that somebody who's not in the midst of what they're doing, what they're talking about, if they're not doing it themselves, I always find it to be a little odd. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say something that's gonna probably hurt a few people, but you know what really burns me up when people talk about rich people. You know, they just evil, nasty, and you know, money ain't everything. Money this and money that, and the evil people. How the fuck you know? How do you know? You ain't never been rich. How do you know? And the reason why y'all so bad, not everybody, the reason why people so bad on something is because that's what they're not. It's easy to make somebody out to be the bad guy, and you ain't never even been in their shoes. And Dr. Umar Johnson used to do that all the time. He used to always make everybody, he would put you in victimville, okay? And he would always have the answers. It's almost like, you ever seen okay, I shouldn't say a mother, but there's movies. There's movies out here where a parent, let's just say a parent. You ever seen a parent make their own child sick so they can benefit off the benefits? Off the money, you know, the money, and then if they raising money, and it's like the parent is making their child sick on purpose. So now everybody will feel sorry for them, and then they can get money and they can get position, and then people pay their mortgage, and they just utilize the kid. There's people that utilize the community and utilize past circumstances and keep them alive and keep the fuse lit, and they live off of it and they benefit from it. You got a man that y'all was cutting in your city to speak to a group of Black people who don't even live the way he's telling Black people to live. Y'all wouldn't let me do that. You wouldn't let me do that. You wouldn't let me come on here on Wyatt Live and talk about shit and judge and down people if I haven't been through it. That's why I remind you every day where I'm from. Y'all know 1335 John Street. I lived on the 4th floor. So whenever I come with my messages or I talk about what I'm talking about, there's substance there. Don't judge me because of how I feel about something that I've been through. You get it? You get it? Now, do you understand where I'm coming from? Why I always justify where I'm from? Because I'm generally talking from a position of being there, sitting there, making certain decisions. I've been around all the dope dudes. I know why they sold dope. I've been around all this old shit. It ain't that I'm glorifying it or that I love it. It's just if I'm going to have something to say, I got to be familiar with the life. I got to be able to express myself in a way that you'll believe me. And the only way that I can make you believe is to put you in my shoes, to make you understand how I understand. Maybe I've been somewhere that you've never been. Maybe you've been somewhere that I've never been. So I wouldn't dare judge you for the things that you know that I just don't know about everything. I don't know what you know. I don't know where you've been and what you've been through. So why would I look at you and be like, well, you don't really know what you're talking about? Why would I be that guy? And it's funny because that's how I get challenged here. I don't get challenged. Let me start over. Let me take a sip. I put the glass up like this earlier for everybody. If you just getting here and you got a drink in your hand or a cigarette or whatever you got that make you feel good, put it in the air and let's do a cheers real fast. I'm gonna start over. I'm gonna go back to where I was. I don't want to go to an evil, nasty place. Let me just say this. I throw that cheer out to everybody, to the regulars that are here and the people that pretend that they're not here. Even the ones that pretend that they're not here. I've been saying that for a few years now too, haven't I? Y'all think I just be saying things? Y'all just saying, you don't think I know? So I got people that put my name out in the sky, put my name out on other platforms and all that old stuff. Terry said, I'm at work. I just got a tea. Come on, Terry. Put it up in the sky with me. Let's cheers to you and your tea. Stop putting my name in other platforms if you're not even here watching. If you here and you pretending not to be here, you look goofy as F saying my name and what I'm talking about over here if you're not watching. If you're not watching the program and you're on another platform with my name in your mouth, talking about what I'm talking about and what I said, you look goofy as F. If you mention my name on another platform, put your hands in the air. I ain't mad at you. Just be honest about it. And don't use my name to down someone else. Don't use my name to belittle somebody. Don't use my name to make somebody feel like shit because they agree with me. If you disagree with what I'm saying, get your bitch ass on the phone and call. That's the difference. I give respect to everybody. But when you're being disrespectful, I tried to tell them yesterday, when you're being disrespectful, listen, don't think that I won't return to serve. Don't think that I won't return to serve. Just bring it over here to my home court one time. That's all I ask. There ain't nobody on here that I've never disrespected. We don't have to agree on everything, but don't take my name over somewhere else. Don't take my name over somewhere else. What you're trying to do is create enemies for me. That's all. And the game it's played. It's played out. That's what I'm saying. And here go the thing. People reach out to me and be telling me, and I still don't care. But now I got to get, and they've been telling me for like a year and a half now, like, hey man, you know, my thing be saying, and you get your name and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, bro, I really don't care because I really don't care. Because if I was wrong, and let me just say this to y'all. There's enough people that if I'm wrong about something, they could call, facts right, put in the comment section, and challenge what I'm saying. You can challenge me. There go the phone number on the screen. And if you challenge me, that don't mean we fighting. Let's just debate it. Somebody said my name was on the screen somewhere else talking about I said it was not safe to be downtown. Has anybody ever heard me say that? Have I said, man, it ain't safe? I might have said that shit about Columbus Walmart yesterday. I ain't never going in there. Never, ever, never again. If it's the last Walmart on this planet, I'll find a gold circle or I'll find something else before Kmart. I'll find something that's been gone before I before I go into that Walmart up there. Regina, it's because of this reason here. I'm talking about it because I want people to stop talking about it. The tricks are not working. You see what I'm saying? Here's what I don't do. I am never going to pass fake love on to anybody here. And I don't expect people to pass fake love on to me over here. Don't come over here to this platform like you really cool with me, or you cool, or you know, we Gucci and all that old shit, and then you go badmouth me somewhere or say things to invite people not to like me, and you say those things not so they'll come over here. That the first part didn't work, and that was if I can get those dudes that be talking that one shit, if I can get them to go over there and dog him, then that'll shut him up. Well, that didn't work, okay? Because I'm a respectful guy, and most of the people that you want to attack me won't attack me because it's a mutual respect. So then this is the next trick is I'll talk so bad and make him so disinteresting that nobody will watch him. That trick might work, but it don't affect. It's not to a point where I care because I don't want. Listen, here's what we all shouldn't want. No one should want anybody that will believe a rumor about you. If MJ, if somebody out here saying something about you, sis, and you know it ain't true, and I'm gravitating to what they saying, and I'm like, oh man, MJ ain't shit, man. Damn, I thought she was better than that, and I ain't came and talked to you. You don't want me in your life because if I can be easily convinced of MJ ain't shit and all this old stuff, why would I want Wyatt in my life and he believing what people talking about, and I ain't had no conversation with Wyatt yet? You know what I'm saying? And you know what? It's not even what they say. It's the attempt of what they try to do. Anybody ever went through that? We all have gone through that. I would think that most people have gone through this. If you good people, you have been through this because bad people don't know no better. This is what they do. They intentionally do shit like this. Have you ever been around somebody that generally talk you up to your face, and then they play you behind your back, and they dogging you, they saying things, and they intentionally want other people to dislike you because they really do boys. They really do boys and do girls. They so can't. They don't have a spot. They don't have anything on their own, so they have to use you in order to be. That's how they get in them circles. That's how they get in them cliques. They have to use. They got to talk bad about you, MJ, in order to fit in with that talk about people's circle. You feel what I'm saying to you? For somebody to go down, and even if I did say it's not safe to go down Cincinnati, I got some things that say that Cincinnati's pretty damn bad. Okay, I never said it. Not that I care. I own property in downtown Cincinnati. And the people that's got the most to say don't even live in Cincinnati. Don't even live in downtown Cincinnati. And that's a normal situation. Most people that bitch and complain and say the most got very little interest in it. In most things. The shit stirrers, the chaos agents, they be the ones that have the least amount of engagement of what they talking about. In other words, you're talking about downtown Cincinnati, you probably don't even, Cincinnati, downtown safe, all of those. You probably don't even go downtown Cincinnati. You probably don't even live in the city. You probably go to Mason. You probably think them other areas better anyway. You probably shop at the TJ Maxx out in them other suburban areas. You get the fuck out of here with that shit, man. Everybody know. But that little small circle that make you comfortable, makes you feel good about what you're doing. They really don't have your back. You got a dude that used to come on here, I paid him mad love, mad respect, nickname, the whole nine. This dude can't keep my name out his mouth. Every time he want to use something and want to be important in that little small ass circle, my name come up, or he got to say something about what we doing over here. How the fuck do you know, dude? You're not here, right? How do you know what I'm saying about downtown Cincinnati or what I'm saying, period, if you're not even watching? Now y'all see why I say, for the people that's pretending that they're not watching. As if I just be over here just talking just be talking bullshit. Like I just be over here trying to make people feel like, like, bro, we have an we have real conversations over here. As far as I'm concerned. But you need that micro victory. Wyatt said that Black Africans don't even like us. Take your ass up to Columbus, Ohio. Go to the Walmart in Easton and remember my name when you go up there, and let me see how comfortable you are. Take your ass on up there, Mr. Know-It-All. Do-boy, bitch ass. See, when you get disrespectful by calling names, just get ready. Get ready, bro, because I ain't the one. Like, I know that sounds cliche. I ain't the one and all that old shit. But all I can tell you is this, bro. You ain't been nowhere near where I've been in life. And you ain't never gonna get there. Because bitch ass dudes don't do what you do. You playing to the wrong crowd, partner. You on the wrong team. They don't really fuck with you. Y'all know the message boy. You remember when Nino told them, message boy. Go back and hear something and he go back and tell, message boy. You want to serve it? Well, here's the return serve. And then go to everybody in your clique. I'm very respectful to that platform over there on the radio. I don't dog them. I might say something about what they talking about, but I don't call anybody. I don't dog nobody over there, bro. Stop that bullshit. Sis, too. You got a little clique. Y'all got some agents that's over here strolling. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got some people. But what do I say? I tell you what you need to do. You need to go back and tell them the sensible shit that I talk about. Ask them why they ain't going after their leaders in the community, that they dick ride their leaders. Y'all dick ride y'all leaders. And that's why you looking ass dumb right now. That's exactly why you looking so fucking filtered dumb right now. You looking isolated. And you gonna have your dumb ass out there at the marches too. Marching against your own restaurant that you own, your own piece of property, whatever it is you think you hollering and marching about, it's towards your own leadership. Looking dumb as hell. Mayor of Cincinnati raised charges. Y'all got the mayor of Cincinnati will go on black radio because he know the frequency that he dealing with, but he won't go on white radio. Explain that to me, black folks. Why won't the mayor of Cincinnati go take an interview from a white radio station, but he'll go to a black radio station because he know he need the black community to keep things balanced for him Explain it. Explain it. Explain to me why it's okay. He'll come talk to the black community. Is it okay? So he owed the black community an explanation of why what happened at the fight, the brawl. It wasn't no brawl. What happened at the fight? Okay, he owe him that. But what does he ask? How do you only owe half of the city an explanation? How do you only owe half of the city an explanation? Because there are people on the other side that will ask questions because they know real information. They'll ask questions that some hosts will not ask. And that is, Mayor, you have the ability to go get your prosecutor and your police chief that you are in charge of. You have the ability to file those charges against the man that your community, that the black community is bitching and complaining about, who threw the slap. You have the ability to go down there and get charges put on him. He know that ain't gonna be asked to him on the radio. He know that. But he ain't gonna go to no white radio station because they're going to ask him the same question and they're gonna tell him, sir, based on codes, they're gonna tell him, sir, you know you can go down there. He know he can. He's a lawyer by trade, and he went to the finest schools. I believe he's a Harvard grad. He just know who he's dealing with. He know who he's talking to. Did anybody from the community ask him, well, why were you gone so long? Why did you go? What made he didn't cut his vacation until them white folks got on his ass? He'd have stayed gone if it was up to the black folks, because he got the black folks at home. They got his back. They got his back. Somebody asked in the comment section, why don't I have him on the radio? Why don't I have him on my show? Honestly, do you think he would come? Do I have guests? Do I ever have guests on my show, really? What stops him from calling? What stops anybody from the office to call? They call the radio. They call and do all that old shit. What would stop them? I know my platform ain't as big, but what would stop them from calling and clearing the shit up with what I'm talking about? I'm not big enough. I'm not important enough. What is it that would, if it's just like what I tell people who say, like, if you feel like I just called some people out. If you feel like what I'm saying is some bullshit, then call me and tell me that I'm on some bullshit and put me on blast and say, hey, what you're saying is wrong, Wyatt. I got a whole phone number right here. Tell me where I'm wrong. We don't have to be mad. It don't have to be an argument, but tell me where I'm wrong. No, what you rather do, you're waiting for something to happen. And what's didn't happen is not going to be what you're looking for. And that is the brawl, the fight. Now we got a divided city again. But what's crazy is the team that's in control is stirring up the division. I'm sorry, I'm the only one that's going to say it. Do you really think if the mayor of Cincinnati goes to a white radio station, they're going to ask him the same type of questions that the black radio station asked him? Do you think it'll be the same interview? And y'all talking about having him, y'all know he ain't gonna, if he don't go to a white radio station, he ain't coming here. The same questions to be posed. And you can grade that however you want to grade it. And then they think that's a bar. Oh, well, I asked him why he won't have the mayor on the show. Do you really think I would be afraid? What question could I ask him that I would feel like, oh, I just got caught. I just got caught. Because it wouldn't be the shit that y'all think. It would be way different. It would be a whole different conversation. But ask. Why did he take calls? Y'all want them to press charges on that on the Russian dude so bad that they got you dazed and confused about reality of how this shit really work. And you listen to your leaders so well that you won't even pose your own questions. You allow your leaders to pose the questions. And if the questions are not going to give you the real answer, what's the point in even having questions asked in the first place? I know what they are. I know exactly why you would want not necessarily stage questions, but a softball game. I get it. Nobody on here, and I don't know, I guarantee nobody's asking the question, well, what is he saying somewhere else? Because I've been told you the conversations are different. From black radio and white radio, politicians have different conversations with different people. That would make me feel a little different. I'd be like, damn, they talking about something different down there than what he talking about us. He couldn't have went down there and said ain't no crime, ain't no gangs in the city. And he couldn't have passed that shit off on the white radio station. He couldn't have done that. He couldn't go down there and say crime is down because there's too many conservatives down there that work in the court system that watch felonies get dropped down to misdemeanors that change the numbers in your crime statistics. There's people that got a little bit of sense all over the place. But people that understand how things work ask different questions. I would have heard, you know what? My question would be this, because there's an easy answer to it. Why aren't any of the white people downtown that's fighting getting arrested? I know the answer to it, and it's not what you think it is. It's just y'all starting to show white videos all of a sudden. Y'all go all the way down to 1989 and show some shit with Andy, I don't know, 2002 with Andy Dalton. Y'all went all the way to find them. You ain't got to go that far back to see white people fighting in downtown Cincinnati. You could go last weekend. You can go the week before that and probably 2 or 3 weeks back from there. White people fight downtown Cincinnati just like black people do, and none of them get arrested, just like none of the black people get arrested. They get tickets, disturbing the peace, disorderly conduct, drinking in public, and they report to court. They don't get locked up and all that old other shit. Now let some felonies jump off, and that's a different situation. Your leaders ain't gonna tell you that. Because remember, we started this in 2020, right? How long have I been saying what I'm saying right now? I've been saying what I've been saying 4 years, maybe even, well, almost 4.5, no, almost 5 years before this fight even started. I was telling you, man, shit going on downtown that y'all don't even hear about every day and every night. I'm talking about downtown Cincinnati, the bar districts. I said white people fighting down there every day, well, every weekend. It's a lot of shit going on down there. You've never heard me talk about, well, black people downtown ruining it. I ain't never said that. You ain't never heard me say those black kids down at the banks that's out there past curfew. You ain't never heard me say that. I've been down there. I know who down there. I know it's black kids, it's white kids, kids under 18 from all different communities. And when I talk about curfews and parents need to be held accountable, I'm talking about black parents, white parents, Asian parents, all of them. But for some of you brainwashed people, this is what you think. Every time somebody says something derogatory about kids, you instantly think that somebody's referring to or referencing to the black kids. That's because of your own cynical way of thinking. I've never been on here talking about black kids worse, black kids that. I ain't never done that. Now, if you want to put me on somebody's page or they program or on a platform and try to make it seem like I'm that guy, that's fine. Because anybody that'll believe it, I don't want them over here anyway. Like, what was that one Bobby person came over here last week? Oh, you one of those. I guess. It only took you to hear me 5 minutes to talk reason about a fight downtown, and now you ready to piece me out because you don't want to hear the reasoning? Yeah, okay, fine. We'll holler. Stage left. We'll holler at you. It's funny. You could be doing, you know how I feel right now? I feel like this person, I feel just like you felt some time ago, y'all. I mean, the person this is going, you ever done so much for somebody? You loaned them money, you loaned them your place, you went out of your way and you gave them something 20 times. And on the 21st time, you tell them no. And they act like you ain't never done shit for them. That's how I feel right now. All the encouragement, all the shit that I've said, all the things that I've tried to do to make people see things the right way, all the things that I've been sitting here trying to lay down I've been laying a foundation over here. And you got people that really want you to think that you're a bad person, that I'm a bad person. It's crazy to me. You know what? It's just like this. The real sellout is the person that's getting the money, making you feel like everything is normal. They get paid to make you feel that way. They get paid to make you feel that way. To make you feel like all that crime that's happening down there. Here's the sad shit about it. Here's the sad shit about the crime that's going on. It's mainly happening to black folks. Black children, black men and women are paying the price for this unbalanced crime situation that's going on in the city. And they'll make you feel like the people that's maybe trying to help, they're just doing it for themselves. Even if they were doing it for themselves, even if dramatic changes were coming, answer me this. Who seeks the benefit? Let me show you something that you ain't gonna see nowhere else. Check this out. That's the mofo right there that the police are looking for, who put all those shots down in downtown and over the Rhine and shot that lady. I'm not saying he did it, but this is the suspect. Police are asking for public help in identifying a suspect in the death of Shashandra Wynn, a mother of 5 who officers said was an innocent bystander shot in the back while walking in over the Rhine last week. Share this picture, take a screenshot of this picture, put it on your page, see if anybody understands or knows this person right here, and let's get some questions answered. But no, are you mad at me for putting this out there? Because that's the same logic that I apply. I feel that when people try to make it seem like this shit is normal, they overplay, they just publicizing, they doing they fake this and that. How many incidents have to happen for you to say, well, this shit is really real? This is really happening. And here's the thing. It ain't white kids that's suffering from this behavior on the streets. If I'm saying something and doing something to try to better the community by getting someone caught and off the street, if I'm telling you, don't jump the gun, don't talk about, don't minimize what's really going on because that you'll never fix it. If you want to call me a sellout for that, well, damn it, give me the crown. I'm king, sell the fuck out. But if you okay with 34-year-old women, I don't care if it was a black woman or a white woman, 34-year-old woman with 5 kids getting shot in the back while walking home, who had nothing to do with nothing, if you okay with that, we just different. Let me go to the phone lines before I get out of here. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
What up, Wyatt?
Hey, Drop
Squad 52.
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, nothing, man. I got to give a shout out to the people in the chat. Twin, Deanna Johnson, Brenda Early, Raz Freeman, and my main man, the number one black man in Cincinnati, in the Wyatt Live chat, Fane Rothstein, a.k.a. Mr. a.k.a. Wyatt,
My guy.
this story is national, my brother.
I know.
And I'm loving your passion, okay? And while I was waiting, I was scrolling through the phone to see if this was a national story. So I hit at the AOL site, and they take stories from everybody. So I scroll down, I see from the New York Post, headline, Cincinnati leaders demanding prosecution, in quotes, of white man who used racial slur in viral street brawl. Now, Wyatt, as I scroll down, it says community leaders in Ohio are calling for police to bring charges against a white man seen slapping a black man and using racial slurs right before last month's viral melee in Cincinnati. Now, Wyatt, if you remember when I called you when this thing first happened,
okay,
and I told you what was going to happen if certain things occurred in between the right charges being filed by the police department and the trial date. Do you remember what I said?
Remind me. I do remember a few things, but I want you to let us know. I remember.
Okay. I said it depends on if anybody involved attaches themselves to a political entity to help a certain political party. And guess what happened, Wyatt? Why now is the story national? Because the Black community is demanding from the local government and the police and the mayor's office, which is supposedly all run by Black folks, right? People of color, right, Wyatt?
Pretty much.
Okay. And it's a national story because I told you that white woman who almost lost her life, she was the first one to speak out, Wyatt. Am I right or wrong?
Yeah, no. You're okay. I'm listening.
Okay.
I'm listening.
Right. She was the first person to speak out. And now we see where the whole situation is in the city. They're looking for equity and quota-based arrest in this case. There were 7 people indicted. But now the Black community, which includes Ohio State Rep. Cecil Thomas. I remember that name, Cecil Thomas. And this is his quote, Wyatt. I don't know if you read it yet, but he said, the method by which this situation has been handled raises serious questions as to whether there is bias involved in this investigation. It also brings into question the lack of integrity and whether there is something else to hide, unquote, from the lawmaker. Now, Wyatt, you tell me, what does that statement mean? Remember, this has come from a politician, Mr. Cecil Thomas, which been involved in multiple mayors, multiple city council makeups, if I'm not mistaken. He's been there for a long time. So what do you think he means by this statement, Wyatt? And the main part, he said, the lack of integrity and whether there is something else to hide.
Okay. Well, he's talking to his own circle.
Who's in the circle, Wyatt?
Well, he has to be talking.
Because remember, he's an elected official. So who is he talking to?
Well, he ain't really saying nothing, to be honest with you. But what he's saying.
Oh, yeah, he is. He's saying a lot.
Well, okay, if you say so. But what I'm saying.
He said a lot in that statement, bro.
Okay.
See, that's political speak. And I guarantee you, it's some people in your audience that could translate that bullshit. Okay. If you want me to read it again, I'll read it again.
No, because we hear. I mean, like I'm engaged with Cincinnati. I'm engaged with Cincinnati heavy. And
I know, bro. Hey, man, I was over here clapping, listening to you, going in on all those cowards who do what you do in the city of Cincinnati. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, my point is this. I hear where you at with it, Drop, but my point is this. All these years that people, them same folks that's saying stuff right now and kumbayaing in the circles and ready to go out and protest. It was easy for them to do it a few years ago when they had to look at other people as being the problem. The prosecutor, the police chief, that was an easy target. But now, who could he be talking about when they're all standing in the same circle, bro? This is a decision that could be made by the mayor of Cincinnati, and they talked him up. That's their guy. It could be done by the same prosecutor. That's their person. That's who they had on their ballot. That's who they backed in the election. Okay, this is their own people, but they're not talking. They're talking as if there's this ghost of white folks that are responsible for the lack of indictment in this particular case. They control the switch of who gets booked in and who get indicted. Well, they can't get you indicted. An indictment comes from a grand jury. However, we know how that works, okay? Here's what's really frustrating to me. You have you have people that are lawyers over there saying things. You have current city council members that are saying things. And you have people who were former police officers and now are state representatives and all that saying things. And those particular people know exactly how this system works. And they know exactly who they could be pointing to and looking at, and they can go knock on the door.
Oh, Wyatt, let me tell you who else voice has spoken up. Pastor Leslie Jones. This is what she said on Tuesday. Quote, "Our community is restless and they're watching." Now, Wyatt, our community is restless and they're watching. She went on to say, "Since you don't think young people vote, old folks do. And they have told me they know how to vote. They know how to answer." And the pastor continued and said, "If you don't prosecute this gentleman, we're demanding prosecution in the next 24 hours. Wyatt, I'm telling you, bro, keep talking, keep calling them out, and call them out by name, Wyatt. Call them out by name, because you've already established yourself in the 4th year you've been on the air, but these last 2 years, you've established yourself as a major media person in Cincinnati. Because for one, it's a small market. And two, with the internet, there are more players involved other than the traditional media stations like WLW, and what's the other one?
Well,
The Buzz.
let me ask you something. The mayor. Let me get
I was getting to him.
Okay,
that's how I was gonna close out with his punk ass statement.
I do have a question for you though. Before, do you want to say something first about his punk ass statement, because it is about the mayor? I just want your opinion on something. I don't want to give just my heart on this. I just want to get your opinion on something. Can I ask you? And then if you decide to answer it first or second, I'm cool with either way you want to go with it. Okay.
Okay.
Let me ask you a question. How do you feel about the mayor of Cincinnati? He'll talk to black radio, but he won't go talk to white radio.
I already told you, Wyatt.
Man, I mean, I'm asking, why do you think that is?
Okay, the reason Mayor Aftab Pureball, who is of Indian descent, but he in today's
I think he's of
culture in 2025,
I think
he's considered.
I think he's of Asian descent. But go ahead. I think he's of Asian descent, but that's cool.
Okay, but
you can't be wrong like that. You can't be. Hold on. No, it's important that I say this to you. You can't be wrong about something like that, because it'll take the power out of everything you're about to say. If you say that'll give them something to talk about versus your solid point. You see what I'm saying, bro? Like if you say that he's
but this is me. This Drop Squad 52.
All right.
It doesn't matter what I'm getting ready to say next in reference to Aftab Pureball, regardless of his ethnic descent.
Okay.
In today's culture, politically in 2025, he's considered a person of color.
Okay, yeah, you're right there.
He looks like the black constituents in Cincinnati who he represents. So he's going to go to where he thinks his political base is. Okay?
Okay.
And when he goes to the white community, you know what that'll mean. He's losing his base. Right? So right now, since he has the church and Pastor Leslie Jones, he has the council with Cecil Thomas. The only thing I haven't read anywhere is any response from the governor's office. Okay, so you probably won't, because again, that takes it to another level when you have the governor's office talking about a city affair. Okay, but what I'm saying, let me just read you what Aftab said. But that's the reason why he goes to black radio and not white radio, because he knows on black radio he can get away with anything. He knows what to say to appease. He knows what to say to elevate. He knows what to say to either rile things up or calm things down.
Okay.
And it hasn't gotten to that point, but the threats have been sent by the people that support Aftab.
Okay.
Okay. Now let me read his quote.
Okay.
This is all from Tuesday's New York Post story. From Aftab Pureval, the mayor of Cincinnati. I agree with everyone's frustration. All right. I have been clear about my expectations that in order to preserve both public safety and fairness, anyone involved in perpetuating the violence and perpetrating the violence should be charged. Until all participants are held accountable, justice hasn't been fully served. And I'm grateful that community leaders and residents are continuing to come together to make their expectations clear. Mm-hmm. And this is the follow-up. This is the final thing. The mayor further said, expectations that additional charges will be filed as soon as possible, according to the statement.
Okay. You know what happened after that? No, I'm about to tell you. I'm about to tell you something that's real. It's real.
Tell me what happened.
Defendant number 7 got arrested.
I know. That's what and look at the charges. Remember what I said about the charges?
Yeah.
So the charges are adequate for everything we saw. But again, the fact that the public and the community leaders are now asking for the arrest of the white man who slapped the black man, who's not one of the 7. Okay, so the black man didn't retaliate by causing a riot. I told you the word riot are in them filing charges. Am I right, Mr. Wyatt?
Yes.
Didn't I tell you? See, I hate to be saying that because I'm not really a regular caller to your show, but like I've always said, Wyatt, everything is political that happens, and this story is now political. The trial will probably be picked up nationally if it goes to trial. We don't know. Everything, all the spotlight is going to be on the prosecutor now. Because even if they arrest the white guy, Wyatt, tell everybody what the charge is going to be. It's going to be a lot less than what these 7 got charged with.
See, here's what happens, Drop. You're on point of what you're saying, but like you have missed a day or two here. And we've already had this. Everything that you're saying, I've already gone over. I'm not everything because I haven't read a statement from the mayor and all that, but I've commented on what he said. I've commented on a lot of the things already that you're bringing up. I've already told people that this guy is only going to get charged with a disturbing the peace type of situation. Okay, he's only going to get a DC. Okay, and it's going to be a minor misdemeanor. And it's nowhere near a felony charge because there was no victim harmed and no bodily injury. So it's going to be a misdemeanor. And the black community is looking for this guy to get charged the same way that the people who produced felony assaults on somebody. And it's just not going to happen that way. The sad thing is the leadership in the city is running with this narrative of the white man not getting charged. And some of them are legal experts.
But see, Wyatt. I hate to interrupt you, but see, that's why I've been saying ever since I've been messing with you, bro, because of the internet, They can't get away with that bullshit now.
I know.
And I heard
You're
you
right.
earlier, you were saying that, oh, I don't have that many listeners. Bro, to have over 1,000 people that listen to your show, whether it be live or replayed that day, that's a lot of ears in the community. And guess what?
I hear you.
Most of those ears are the same ears that listen to that other bullshit too.
I know, but what I mean, I don't mean that I don't have anyone. I'm comparing my listening stage, you know, my stage. I'm comparing it to the other platforms in my area. I'm not even close to the numbers that they have. That doesn't have anything to do with me because, like I said,
those numbers, I'm telling you why. It's the same ears. It's the same ears in Cincinnati.
No. Listen to what I'm saying, bro.
They just have a larger share, but you still have ears.
I'm not suggesting that I don't. What I'm saying to you is, and I've even praised you for saying, Wyatt, this is what you should do. I mean, talking about years ago, a year or two ago, you were
right. Everything I say it happens.
That's not what I'm talking about. Drop. Just hear
me
out, bro. I'm talking about how
I've been puffing on something, Wyatt. So I
can tell. But it's like you have been there in my corner from almost day one, pushing and saying you need to really go a little harder or put your platform on a higher stage. And I've been telling you the same thing for 2 years, 3 years now. You don't want to answer to someone. And I keep telling you that mindset is so 1990s, bro. It's 2025. Okay. You can have sponsorships. You ain't answering to nobody but you. I don't need it. Okay. I don't.
No, I'm just saying you basically are already doing it. You're just doing it in Cincinnati. If you wanted to go national, all you would have to do is cut out a few things you do on your YouTube feed. They put your ass in the algorithm with Officer Tatum and all the other.
Yes, they would. And
black, not Democrats. You would fit right the fuck in.
I know Tate. I'm cool with Tate. I'm cool with Antoine. I could do what they do. I don't.
I don't. You do what they do.
I know.
It's just fewer people are listening.
I do it at a level that I feel comfortable and where I want to be. I am not trying to make it to the Major League Baseball. I don't have time to be a Major League Baseball player. Okay, I don't have time to be in the NFL with them guys. That's what they do for a living. That's what they do. That's their job. That's how they get it. I just talk it. I don't.
But see why you missing the point? Then I'll let it go.
Okay, go ahead.
The reason personalities succeed as opposed to someone who never shows their face on a platform, people gravitate toward the host. You, the way you look, the things you say, what you present in the background, what you wear. People tune into you every day, just like they would tune into a soap opera or tune in or read their newspaper columnists every day.
And
that's what you bring, right? So certain people that gravitate towards you. But the thing is, the information you pass on, people hear it, they pass to other people. 6 degrees of separation.
I understand.
That's why those guys you don't want to talk about that you used to listen to before you started your show. Right?
Yes.
And that's how me and you got connected. You heard me on somebody else's show in Cincinnati. And what did you say?
I like you.
Because I say and think the same fucking way you do, bro.
Well, why do we argue?
Because we're like-minded.
First of all, the common ground is we're like-minded, okay? But we argue. And the reason why we argue is because of this. Because like this, bro, like you want me to say it the way you want to hear it, and you want me to say it the way you say it. You want me to do how you want me to do it, and I just don't want to do it that way.
I know you don't.
But the thing is, that's like big bros type shit. That's big bro shit. It is.
Right,
I've always said that. Like you like
all big bro. All big bro is trying to tell you, who maybe has a little more wisdom and experience. All he's trying to tell you is everything you're saying is not a reason to not move forward. That's all I'm saying. Because you're saying the reason you're not doing it is because of X, Y, and Z. And I'm telling you that the X, Y, and Z has nothing to do with it as far as you being heard by more people. None of it, nothing at all. Because all it would take is a few little tweaks, which I know you could do. Your show, like I say again, because of the content, And there are a lot of people who are seeking this type of content, Wyatt, because it's normal. People are getting older. The ears are changing. The person that used to hear this bullshit 50 years ago, it's different ears now.
I get it.
But they keep saying the same bullshit.
Well, here's a perfect example of how somebody that's been listening to that shit for a long time should really examine the information that they're getting from that same group right now. And they should say, wait a minute, they've been telling us that this has been the conservative white boys and the racists in my city, and all they're doing is looking. I'm just trying to figure out, if you control a system drop now, who do you blame at this point? That's all I'm saying, bro. Like, I used an example yesterday. If I own a Kentucky Fried Chicken drop, okay, and I'm standing outside my very own Kentucky Fried Chicken protesting because now I own it, but I'm outside protesting. They ain't got no wings on Tuesdays and shit. They soda is watered down. Yeah, let's protest this month. I'm the difference maker. I'm the one that can make the change. Don't I look dumb as hell outside protesting with people about my own spot? I look dumb as hell.
Would.
So don't you think these politicians and the people that's in place, isn't it funny that the worker who's working in the restaurant is still in there working while the owner who makes the decisions is outside protesting? Don't you see the equivalence of that being politicians and the workers? The politicians call the shot and the worker is still in the office. The worker is just doing what the politician is allowing him or her to do. So what are we why is this even a conversation? And why are people who accustomed to listening to this shit, why haven't they caught on to it yet? Why can't you just see it in broad daylight for what it really is? They're bullshitting you. They got to bring up the protests, the riots, the fights, and the marching in the streets. They standing next to the people that make the decision. They are the decision makers. The mayor just told everybody that everybody should get prosecuted that has something to do with this. He's
agreeing with the mayor's just agreeing with the majority of the people that vote for him.
He's agreeing.
That's all he's doing.
He's agreeing with his base. You're absolutely right.
That's it. And I told you, if that shit turns, he's gonna be over there on the white stations. Trying to tell you everything cool. Calm the fuck down.
But wait, isn't it fair to say that the same person who's speaking to his base has the ability to go talk and knock on the door of the person that he's in charge of and say, take your ass down there and file charges on who we want?
No, not unless Cecil Thomas or Andrew Reese.
Yes, he can.
Or Leslie Jones.
Yes, he can.
Tell the people that's how it works.
No, wait a minute. Hold on. Right. Okay. I was jumping the gun. I was my bad. You're right. But don't you see the other day I had to leave early. I just dropped them. I just pieced everybody out. I was so upset because I was trying to be that guy. I was trying to be that person to tell everybody this is how it works. And the people that you now looking at right now, who you about to go step out in the street and protest with, those are the people who could actually tell you the truth about this whole situation. But they're choosing to keep you ignorant. Okay? They're choosing to keep you ignorant. And that says a lot to me. And it's so much frustrated me, bro, that I had to end the show. Because I'm like, I don't understand why my people don't see. This has been what it's been since the beginning. They've always had to be able, they have always had the out of being able to say it's them over there. And they always shift the focus on someone else when it's always been, it hasn't always been that way.
Okay, Wyatt, let me help you. Okay, when you're dealing with an addict, right? A drug addict, and the family sees it, everybody sees the issues with this drug addict. So family comes together and they say, we're gonna have an intervention, right?
Yes.
They bring the addict in, put everything in front of them, right?
Okay.
And the addict says, well, you might be right, but I ain't ready to quit yet.
Then they ain't got nothing, there ain't nothing coming. No matter what they say, that addict is going to continue to do what they do.
Okay, so basically, to help you with the dilemma you're in, until some Black people have the courage to admit that they were wrong about the Democrat Party, That's it. That's all it takes, Wyatt. It doesn't take to say I'm no longer voting Democrat and now I'm a Republican.
Okay,
no, but it takes courage, Wyatt.
I don't want to.
No, it's because you don't know.
Wait a minute,
some
hold on,
people.
bro. You don't even know what I'm about to say. All I'm saying is this: I don't want to make it a Republican or a Democrat thing. I want it to be more, because if you start doing the Bloods and the Crips, when you start putting groups into this thing, now you're asking group thinkers to not be themselves. I'm trying to make a group thinker kind of be a little bit more independent in how they see things. Just because that person is part of that group, whether it's Republican or Democrat, that doesn't mean that that group is going to do you right. You need to see, okay, you got to be able to pull the truth out of somewhere. That's how I see it. And I'm saying to myself, if the group that's lying to me and gaslighting me and making me feel like it's somebody else's fault all the time, but I can clearly see that you are in charge, I have to second guess what I'm doing. That's all. I don't want it to be like Republican or Democrat, because that's part of the facade. That's part of the
Wyatt, you misunderstood. Well, I ain't gonna say you misunderstood, but all I was saying is that you keep doing what you're doing. Why? It's people every day waking up saying, I see the light now. I see the light. I heard this dude named Wyatt. I listened and I see the light now. That's all. And you can see it happening slowly, Wyatt. It's going to take time to go from a almost 90% stronghold that the Democrat Party has on the psyche of the Black American. If it gets down to 75, which they can see coming because of people like you, they can see it coming, Wyatt. It ain't gonna be no people just say, Wyatt, you right, I was stupid. No, people ain't gonna admit that, but they will hear you and they will see the bullshit clear now.
I mean, let me ask you something, if I may. You got a couple seconds? I just wanted to ask you a question.
Yeah, because it's Wednesday. Yeah. I'm retired. I ain't got no job.
I haven't heard that. No, I'm just saying I haven't heard that in a while. But let me ask you this. Should Black people fear what's going on in Washington, D.C. now with the police department being moved out of the way by the government?
No, because you ain't seen damn nutter, race hustler, or poverty pimp saying anything about this move that Trump just pulled. Nothing.
Well, that's not true.
Everybody who know DC, they don't give a F about a statistic. Well, they know when a city or area is unsafe.
Yeah, but that's not true what you just said. Maybe you
have. What I just say?
Well, you just said not one of those hustlers have said anything about it. I seen Al Sharpton on MSNBC the other day say that this was an attack on Black people, that they're going to be
the Black criminals.
Well, no, I don't know what he meant, but I know.
What else can he mean? Why, if he's talking about Trump bringing in outside people to enforce or to fight crime in DC? Well, who else he talking about?
Well, here's the thing. He's not the only one that said it. I seen it on MSNBC. I seen it on CNN. I've seen certain people come up and say that this is going to be an attack on Black people. I just want to be on the record for having something to say about that. I don't know if I necessarily agree with it all the way, but I understand that you cannot continuously pretend that there's not an issue, and then when somebody come in and try something different, you have a problem with it. And here's
because it's always been in the Black community an acceptable level of crime that the Negroes can put up with. Okay, you know it, and I know it.
But here's my thing. What I have a problem with, what frustrates me from the leadership is, instead of saying something sensible and not on the defense, on the back foot all the time, they don't want it to make any sense. And here's the problem that I have with it. If it works, who's going to benefit from the task at hand? Who's gonna stop getting shot down the streets? Whose baby's gonna stop coming up missing? Who's not gonna be 34 years old getting shot in the back by random shooters and 75 shots randomly going down the streets? who's going to benefit from more policing in the streets? Because they say, and they try to make us, convince us that more police don't make a change. Here's the thing. Hold on. You could be right there. Nobody's trying to over police these neighborhoods, especially when most of these communities are down 200 police from normal working, a normal number. The normal number is one thing. They're 200 police officers shy of a normal number. So they're not bringing in National Guards because they're trying to over police. They're trying to catch up to a certain situation. And when you have people sitting out on the streets smoking and drinking, that's not good for that community. It's not, first of all, it's not legal. Second of all, it's not helping that community clean itself up. You got a mayor and you have a mayor,
city council.
Yes, you have they're tripping, but they've had decades of trying to get this thing fixed and right. And what I'm trying to show you, I'm going to say this one last thing and you can have it. My problem is when people say crime is down. Crime is not down in Baltimore. It's not down. I know the crime game. All right. I know that police officers will file charge. This is what's frustrating with the police. And if there's a police officer, if I'm lying, call me.
Oh, it is. The former police chief in DC is on suspension for cooking the books on the crime. I know the crime numbers.
But I gotta say this because it's relevant to the city of Cincinnati that I love. It's easy for someone to get arrested on a felony 4. And then by the time the cop writes it up, okay, charges someone, it falls under the category of a felony 4. By the time it reaches pretrial, by the time they get into it, it drops down to a misdemeanor. So now,
and who's doing it? Tell them who's doing the dropping.
The prosecution. The prosecutor.
Thank you.
The prosecutor office is dropping felonies down to misdemeanors, so the crime statistics will be different. That's what's happening. You don't have to go. Look, I'm in it. Okay, I know I can watch somebody be charged with a felony 4, and within 3 months, it becomes a misdemeanor in the 5th degree or maybe the 4th degree, and it's not what really happened out on the streets. It's how you manufacture your crime statistics. If we can make it look like we only have misdemeanors going on, this is how crazy some people are, bro. They're so happy that they have teenage. No, I don't mean happy. I don't mean it that way. They would rather brag on we have juvenile crime going on here. All we got is car break-ins and juveniles stealing guns.
I told you,
and taking
an acceptable level of criminal activity.
It's not like we got tons of people being murdered out here. Well, we just had a kid, a juvenile that just got shot by a police officer that was doing exactly what they say ain't a big deal. He jumped out of a car, ran and had a gun. And you know what the argument would be? Well, Wyatt, you don't know if that's what happened. I watched the video. And of course, a micro victory will come in. All right. A micro victory will come in and say, well, you seen what I seen. And it's the same thing every time, bro. That's why you'll never get this shit cleaned up. Because for some odd reason, bro, God gave everybody a level of intelligence. Okay, he gave everybody a level of intelligence. Some of us have more intelligence than others. And what I mean by that is this. There are people that are much more intelligent than I am, and they will go on and say things and can convert something that is so obvious and make it seem like it's some regular stuff. It ain't no big deal. This is what happens. The white people do it too. And I'm like, wait a minute. I get it. I've always been over here saying white people do it too. I've always said it. My point is, it ain't happening everywhere. Can you honestly tell me that the same type of crimes are happening in all communities across this country?
No.
So why is there a difference in art? Why would you want a difference?
What did I tell you? Let me tell you again the reason why. The color and race of the victim and the perpetrator. That's why, Wyatt.
Okay. All right.
It's as simple as that, bro. So again, if you remember the series The Wire,
yes.
Remember one of the seasons where they created this little drug corridor called Amsterdam?
Yeah, made drugs legal. made drugs legal in a certain area.
In certain areas because they needed to bring down the crime numbers because somebody was running for mayor, some bullshit.
Yeah, no,
okay,
that's how you.
That was based on real Baltimore politics.
Yep.
So again, Wyatt, if you know what the word faith means, it's believing in something that you cannot see. You know the quote, right?
Mm-hmm.
So all I'm saying, bro, just like people in the chat, you just keep doing what you're doing because people are hearing. See, that's why we have freedom of speech, not freedom of hearing. But when you speak, people who hear you may never even acknowledge that they've heard what you said, let alone do something that maybe you instructed or something like that. But there are people out there who see and hear you do things that you will never have any knowledge that they acknowledge you. Okay, so just keep doing what you're doing, bro.
Well,
that's it.
Let me just say this to you on that. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'll listen to it. I'll listen to it off the air, bro.
Okay, bro. Appreciate
you. Keep doing your thing.
Thank you. I appreciate you engaging with us. Drop Squad 52 out of California. I appreciate it. He encourages me a lot. I appreciate it. We don't always see eye to eye, but we get to a common ground and then we end up crossing the finish line together. I appreciate that. Let me just say something to Drop. Drop obviously missed a few days because we've covered some of the things that he's talking about, but I love to be able to I love to hear another point of view of that. But now, let me just say this. Before this brawl even got, or the fight even got to this point, 3 weeks later, I guess we are, y'all know that I was already on this. Y'all know I was already saying what they now starting to say now. Let it work itself out. Wait for the evidence. I told you that when the police showed up, they seen 5 or 6 victims. I didn't call them victims. They were written up as being victims. If another victim was there who got slapped in the face and was considered a victim, he would have stayed there and he would have gave him a test, he would have gave him an affidavit that, this is what happened and I was defending myself. He didn't stay there for that. So now he's not a victim. I told y'all all of this. I told you that I meant to tell Drop this. I told you that they were going to get video from around the surrounding area. And I told you they were going to get video from inside the nightclub that the man was in. And I told you also that they were going to have testimony from people. Let me just say this before I get up out of here. I'm going to go back to the phone lines. But if I don't say this, I'll forget. I find it to be very irresponsible that leaders will come out and say something and they don't have all the facts themselves. I find it to be very disrespectful to the community. I find it to be irresponsible that they will come out and have a lot to say about what should happen when I don't know if maybe they know something more than we do. If they do, maybe they should give us a wink and a nod. Because I find it to be very irresponsible for leaders. I don't mean people that's playing leader in the community. I'm talking about people that have been voted in. They are legitimate leaders in the community. I ain't talking about somebody that might be an advocate for the community. I'm not talking about an activist for the community. I'm not talking about that person, those people. I'm talking about because they do what they see. They move the people. They move the people. They work in the same motions of how the people work. Okay, that's their job as an activist, is to stay with the people. But when your leadership is not full aware of all the evidence and they're going off the same, here's the thing. I know that they don't have the same evidence or anything different than what we've been seeing. You know how I know that? Because the things that we have been seeing and that they're talking about happen, I know that there's evidence that counters what they're talking about. So I know that they're not being honest about it. Or maybe they're being honest, but they're not doing their due diligence. I think that's more important to say. Like if you have, like you're sticking on the circle of the slap is what started it. When we all know, not everybody know this. People that do their due diligence know that there's video out there showing things that happened prior to the slap. When you have people coming out here as a leader And here's my thing, and I got to say it. If I don't say it, I wouldn't be a man. I try not to say harsh or look, I'll tell my truths and I'll say it in a respectful kind of way. And if anybody who doesn't like what I say, including the person that I might be referencing this to, if you don't like what I have to say, then maybe you shouldn't have done what you've done. Okay. But now let me just say this to you. This is what I mean when I say, I think Brenda Early asked the question about how do I know the mayor won't go to white radio? Well, white radio is saying that he won't come for an interview. See what I'm saying, Brenda? That's how I know. I don't even listen to the channel, but I somebody tagged me, said Christopher Smitherman was on the radio. Christopher Smitherman had a conversation on 700 radio with, I don't even know who the host, I don't know his name, had a conversation with a host on the radio station who seems to be the biggest host over there. He's like the Mr. Ware of that station over there. He says, well, we've invited the mayor to come over here and talk to us about this, and he won't accept our invitation. That's how I know. It's not that I don't know anything past that. They could be lying. I doubt it. I'm seriously doubting that they're lying about that. Because you would think that the mayor, if he's going to give the energy to the black radio station about how he feels about this and what's going to happen, that you would give a balanced opinion to both stations. Both stations have an audience. Thank you. Purple Rose says Bill Cunningham. Both stations has an audience. You ever notice if the president of the United States, I don't care who it is, Trump, Biden, whenever he did a press conference, all local media channels went in and carried it. It didn't matter, you know, it didn't matter if what was on at that time. It didn't matter. None of that mattered. It was all about the president of the United States is doing a worldwide press conference. All channels are on him. Right? That's how I feel the mayor should do when it comes down to talking to the people of Cincinnati. Not everybody in the city of Cincinnati listens to black radio. Not everybody in Cincinnati listens to 700. A balanced explanation would be to go on both platforms. Why refuse to go on one, but only go to the other one? Because we already know that one is your constituents. That's who has your back. And you're going to say whatever is really smooth. Y'all don't get it. He's going to say whatever is calm, cool, collective, and smooth to you. Well, Terry Coleman says, Smitherman refused to come to LW show until wanted to discuss the fight. Well, let me ask you something. Is it fair to say that you think he'll get a fair shake over there? I just posed that question to Terry because she made that statement. Is it fair to say that he's been over there plenty of times and it's always been him versus everybody? Isn't it that way? Let me ask you this. How many people from the black radio station you think gonna vote for Christopher Smitherman? That's probably not his constituents. Those probably not the people that's going to support him, right? But that's not even the equal. That doesn't even compare to what I'm talking about right now, Terry. Christopher Smitherman is not an elected official. An elected official owes everybody an explanation. Okay, so let's not cloud the point. The point is, the mayor of Cincinnati should be able to talk to everybody. If you're a regular listener to 700, you don't know when he's going to be on the other station because you don't listen over there. So my point is, why would he not go talk to everybody who's looking for answers? He made statements with no pushback. That's all I'm saying. He made statements with no pushback. And for some odd reason, we tend to be okay with that. You didn't even get the answers you was looking for what you wanted. Let me ask you this, Terry, and for anybody else that heard the interview, I heard it. Let me ask you something. Did you feel like that the Russian was going to get charged? Did he answer the question the way you wanted it to? I don't mean did he answer it the way you wanted to hear it. Did he answer it the way that you wanted it to be answered? Meaning, do you feel comfortable that you're going to get a charge based on what he said? Because I know how they word game. I know how they word game. Like I told Drop when he called. He said, the mayor was on there and he was talking and he said such and such. And I said, yeah, I know. He said that everybody that was involved was going to get convicted, was going to face charges, right? And I said, what happened a day after he said that or 2 days after he said that? What happened? Defendant number 7 got apprehended. It wasn't nothing about what y'all talking about. Now, I'm not saying defendant number 7 didn't deserve to be put in, because that's the one who snatched the gold chain and all that old other shit. That's another thing we're not talking about. I bet you nobody on here, other than there's a few people. I bet you there's a very few limited people on this platform right now that can tell me how many people that was involved, how many of those 7 they have in custody are on probation or on parole. How many of you know that information? It don't scare you? Would that make you feel better, Terry? If I'm just asking, this ain't us going, we ain't beefing. I'm just saying, would it make everything go away? Would it make your argument, and would it make the people that's about to march in the streets, would you feel better if that man was charged? You just said he needs to be charged. That'll be the end of the conversation. Then everybody gets what they deserve at that point, right? Is that how you feel about it, Terry? I'm just curious. Let me see who somebody's. Brenda Burt, that's how you feel too? He needs to be charged? Would that end all of this ain't fair shit? Would that end all of that if he get charged? So now let me ask you this. If he gets charged and it's bumped down to a misdemeanor, you're going to be mad then, aren't you? If he gets charged and it's not for the same thing the other guys are being charged for, you're going to be mad, aren't you? You do know that might be the reason why he's not being charged. Now, y'all got to understand, this ain't like what I want to say. This is reasoning talking. This is somebody that's willing to be the bad guy to tell you something that really makes sense. All I'm trying to tell you, if they charge that dude, there will probably be more of an uproar if they charge that dude and it falls down to be a misdemeanor, a DC, okay, a minor misdemeanor, and his is nothing but a fine, and everybody else facing felonious charges, which is up to 29 years, 30 years for what they've done. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? You know, sometimes you got to save people from themselves. And I'm trying to tell you something that a lot of people ain't telling you, because they want you for some odd reason. They want you at the registration booth. They want you to be talking about how effed up Cincinnati is with this racial thing that they control. And I'm trying to tell you, if they charge that Russian dude for that smack, you are not going to be happy of the outcome. It's not going to measure up to what's going on the other side. There were people that was stumped. There was felonious assaults done to some other people that don't measure up to what the Russian would be charged with. I promise you, I'm on your side, but we can't cover up the facts. You can't cover up people got cold-cocked, knocked out, stumped in the head, and it was caught on video. I know we don't want to talk about that, but that plays a part in how far it'll go on that Russian dude. I don't know why your mayor won't come out and say this. I don't know why your leadership won't fall. I know why leadership, they need a reason. But the mayor has a much bigger responsibility than this. He know he can go to the office down there and tell the police chief, put charges on him. And we know that they can't charge him with we know they can't charge him with a felony. if they charge him with anything, it's going to be a misdemeanor, and you're not going to be happy then. I'm sorry. This is factual. All you got to do is read the law. I'm sorry. But I would think that you would expect what I'm saying to you from your leaders. I'm no community leader. You didn't vote me in. You all are here by your own will. You're not even paying a subscription trying to get your money's worth over here. You're here right now listening to me because you choose to be here. And I respect it, and I love everybody for being here, listening to what I have to say. It is not easy telling the truth. You ever tried it with your children? Your children get more mad at you. Our family get more mad at us when we spit this facts and tell the truth about things, whether they want to hear it or not. But when I see leaders who owe people more and owe people better than that, whether they're local leaders, state leaders, I feel like there's just, I have to tell you what you need to hear so you will be prepared for what's coming. And I'm going to tell you this right now. They have to make a decision. It's fair to say this. This is, whether you like me or not, this is true. They have to make a decision. And that is, do we charge this guy and let it be a minor nothing? Or do we just not charge him? What's going to be the worst reaction? How can we capitalize? What's going to be better for us in this situation collectively? Not y'all, the people that's making the decisions. How is it going to benefit them more? If we charge him and it don't go anywhere and somebody over there get 10 years, one of the brothers or the sisters get 10 years, y'all going to say they treated the white man different. If they don't charge him, you and somebody over there get 3 years, 10 years, 5 years, whatever, you're going to say, look at the misjustice, look at the injustice. It's just us. That's what you're going to say. That's why the leaders are lining up now, because they want to be on the side of us. That's I promise you that's what it is, man. Y'all just ain't used to nobody telling you this shit. You done been years on top. No, you've been decades on top of decades hearing these narratives shoved down your throat a certain way. Your mama's heard them. Your granny's heard them. And now you hearing it. You've been taught this. And you're not seeing it for what it really is. You seeing it from the way that if I learn how to do math a certain way, like for instance, don't they do math different? Anybody ever seen any of your grandkids or any of your kids ever, you know what I'm saying? Any of y'all ever seen how they do math now? They don't do math like how we did it when we was coming up in school. I done seen some of this shit. My kids they doing math way different. I'm like, no, you carry the one and carry the two, turn over that. No, daddy, we do it like this, like that. That ain't how I did it. You're going to do it the way I know, daddy. That's not how they teaching us these days. They teaching us. I've been there. I've been taught a certain way and see things based on how I've been taught. And if that's all you know, then that's all you do. And if all your explanations is they against us and it's just us, it's justice against just us, then you don't have any other way of seeing this. No matter how you slice the onion, it doesn't matter. You're going to see it a certain way. And then there's going to be somebody that's going to give you an explanation. And they're going to be intelligent. And they know how to word game. They know how to play the game. They know how to make shit sound like it's still us again. And they know how to do that type of shit because they're intelligent. And they put you right back on track. It's like you've been off the drugs for 2 weeks. Here come the dope boy. Here come the dope man. He got a hit for you. He ain't even going to charge you for it. So now you can fall back on the, what is it? What is it? You get relapse or whatever. You can get back on the dope, and he ain't even gonna try. He gonna give you a free piece of dope. You ain't even gotta pay for it. If you had money in your pocket and had to pay for it, you wouldn't even buy it. You would stay on a nice steady and you would stay away from the drugs. But when they give it to you for free and you choose to take it, now it's your fault. Let me go to the phone lines before I get out of here. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Yeah, it's your boy Twin, man.
Twin, what's good with you? How you doing today, brother?
I'm all right. Yeah, them prices were 500 zip, man, for that hash.
You remember
right.
that? I talked about that like an hour ago, but okay.
I don't know. Still in my brain.
Okay, I don't know.
Yeah, it was back then. Yeah, I first smoked it in Mississippi.
You've tried? Oh, it was in Mississippi. You tried hash
it was
before?
Hard, huh?
You've tried hash before?
Yeah, it was hard. It's hard getting it. You got to know somebody that knows somebody.
Okay,
that's getting it.
I'll be
it was
honest
500
with you.
a zip. I tried that in red cess and purple haze and all that when I was moved to Mississippi and everything. Like, man, especially the red cess. I didn't know what that was till I seen the red stems and all that. But it was some good weed. But I liked the dro though. That was my weed.
Okay.
That was my type dro.
I never done that. I never had dro or any of that type of stuff. I was a guy that smoked weed one time, and that's all it took for me to, that's all it took for me to just be like, nah, I'm
come in the bottles and stuff. Dro did keep it moist, so I used to mellow you out and whatever back pains and whatever's mellow, and plus it put me to sleep.
Well, let me see something. Donna, what's up? She said he did cause the whole thing, Wyatt, meaning who? The Russian dude? Where's the video? And then is it the slap? Is it the slap? Because let me just say something to you. If me and Twin standing next to each other and somebody slapped Twin, I don't mean I'm gonna jump him. That don't mean I'm gonna punch the dude or have anything to do with it. I'm gonna let Twin work himself out. That's between Twin and that man. All right, I'm not gonna be side hitting motherfuckers, jumping in and jumping people. That ain't got nothing to do with me like that. Now, if you slap my wife, if you slap somebody that I know probably ain't, I might jump in then. But Donna, you're gonna have to send me what you got that shows me that. How is that fair?
I can't say that, Wyatt. I can't agree with that, Wyatt.
Okay, maybe not.
Because let me tell you, it depends on what mood I am.
That don't make. Wait a minute, hold on, bro.
Man,
your mood ain't got nothing to do with your mood ain't got nothing to do with the law.
I ain't got nothing to do with what, but man, you kicking it while somebody haul off and smack you. I'm like, oh, what the hell going on here?
Hold on, let's make it make sense now. Was it the same smack that Will Smith put on kid?
I don't care.
No. Let's keep it a certain kind of way that we can make it make sense. When Will Smith went up and smacked the shit out of Chris Rock, that was a smack. When the dude went up and hit the dude in the red shirt, was it
that's
even?
A tap.
Come on, bro. Come on, Twin. Which was worse? Which was worse?
The Will Smith. Okay, what you putting your hands in my face for, man? That's like me, man. I bit my brother's finger off one time. He kept doing that. Kept putting his hand, man. Don't put your hand in my face, man. Don't do that. That's irritating to me. You talking to me, you just mean like you want to do something. You can talk to me without pointing at me, putting your hand in my face. That goes for anybody, man. You putting your hand in my face, that's assault. I mean, you want me to act out. Crash out on you, man. It depends.
It's not
man,
an assault.
No, I can't see it, Wyatt. It's me and you together, whoever, and somebody just haul off and come. No, nigga, you got to get it. No, man, even though at one month you ain't slapped me, but man, no, you don't do that. It depends on how I'm feeling that day.
Okay, let me just say this. Because Andrea said something, and she said, see my comment. Let me go back and read her comment real fast, Twin. It only take a second. She said the fight was broken up. The Russian slapping the black guy is what started the fight. Shouldn't he be charged with inciting a riot? No. Okay. Let me just tell you why I know that. Look, if I can't think as the prosecutor, But I would think that if the prosecutor felt that way, that charge would have already been put in place. The mayor could make the prosecutor do it. So do you think the mayor feels like that's what happened? Shouldn't you be mad at everybody that's in charge, you know, who could call the shots and not let them off the hook? If it was me in charge of the prosecutor and the city manager, and this was going down, I would feel responsible to come tell y'all and say, hey, look, there's a current investigation going on right now. I can't say too much about where we're going, but you won't be disappointed. Or I can't tell you that everybody, you know, all I'm saying to you is this. I got a feeling it's not going to work out. And I could be wrong. I got a feeling that it's not going to work out the way that you want it to work out because it's been too long. Okay? I wouldn't have said this 24 or 48 hours after that day. I'm saying it now because the people that's applying the pressure are trying to step in line of being with the people when it's time to spark whatever's going to come out of this. Let me give you a perfect example of what I was going to say. I'm going to make this as an example. Scotty told people on the radio station, on Black Radio, you got 24 to 48 hours to make something happen. I got something in the chamber. Now, for Black folks, when you hear we got something in the chamber, I'm thinking, oh, it's about to be that one thing. Maybe not no shooting, but it's going to be some shit out here. You know what I'm saying? Then he goes to white radio and they call him on that. This is what I'm saying. At least he had the balls to go over to the white radio. I'm not mad at Scotty. I'm just telling you, I'm checking something here. I'm taking temperature. You go on Black radio and say one thing. They question you on what you say on the white radio station and you change it up. You clean it up. You say to them, oh, I don't mean chamber like in a gun. I don't mean anything in a bad kind of way like turn up. I'm paraphrasing. I mean there's something going on in the chamber over in the city hall building. The fuck out of here, bro. You didn't mean no chamber in the city. That's what I mean when I say they change up when they go over there and talk. If they even go over there and talk. Do you understand when the Black folks hear there's something in the chamber, we thinking it's about to be some turn up shit because you still trying to run with that circle and be cool with them people, with your people. You see what I'm saying? But then when you get over in the white folks and they ask you, well, wait a minute, that sounds a little threatening. I mean, like physical threatening. And then he laugh it off. No, that ain't what I mean. That ain't what I mean. I'm talking about the chamber in the city hall room. Okay, so what you're saying, basically, let's hold him to that. So what you're saying is if there's something in the chamber, you working on some type of policy to change what went on, right? Because if you're talking about there's something in the chamber of City Hall, that means you are collectively working with the city manager and the mayor to change something policy-wise in regards to what happened that night. Holding to that, because I'm trying to tell you that I don't think it's that. I'm just being honest. I think he meant what he said when he said it on Black Radio and it sounded tough. And then when he went over there, he minimized it. And I don't mean that to be disrespectful to that man. I respect him for going over there answering those questions. I respect that. But what I don't respect is you tough when you're talking to us. When you're talking to people that look like us, you holding that position. But then when you get over there, now you minimize what you meant. And I'm just saying, maybe he did mean the chamber. I'm going to hold you. I'm going to hold you because I think you're an honest guy. I'm going to say that you're being honest. You meant the chamber at the city hall. Let's say that for argument's sake in my point. Then let's see if any policy change. Let's see if any laws change based on what happened. And here's the other thing. I quite honestly believe that someone that's that close to the prosecutors, and the decision makers, it's probably a little, and I think he would agree with this if he really stepped back and think about it. Maybe he wouldn't. I don't know. I don't know them like that. I think that it's a little irresponsible to jump out as an elected official and say something like that when you're in the path of making decisions. You can go knock on the mayor's door and say, hey, something's going on here. We don't like this, and we need to at least get some type of charge put on this individual because we see it this way. And if it fails in court, oh well, we did what we were supposed to do. But that's not what's happening. See, what's happening is this. It's very simple. When the shit get in the streets and they marching and they complaining and it's injustice and it's just us getting in trouble and all that old shit and things ain't going way the way, they want to be on the side of the collective people. They don't want to be seen as the decision makers. They don't want to be seen as they were part of this shit happening and people got away with it. They don't want to be seen. Twin, go ahead, bro. I'm sorry. I'm not gonna keep bashing that point.
No, he should have just kept that same energy. Don't switch the game up now. Take that same energy up. Just like what you call. I'm gonna get on there tomorrow if you come on there tomorrow, Lincoln Ware, because this is radio station, and that's the second time that damn mayor got out his body with and everything. But I'm gonna clear it up tomorrow.
What you mean?
Because he go tell that man go tell him don't say white Russian and stuff. Basically, that's what he was saying. I'm like, this is damn radio safe. You got to see how it is. He's a white Russian and what he did. And then I looked at it today and yesterday. I'm like, if he got charged with inciting a riot and what the people screaming about, they want him locked up for the smacking and inciting a riot to the white man, why he ain't locked up? Man, everybody playing games around here to me, Wyatt, to be honest. If they really want to push the issue, get that white man, and they know they can push the issue, and they looking at the paper like, man, he do this, we give him this. This ain't nothing but a misdemeanor, waste of time. But really took the cake when, like everybody say, when he smacked that white woman and gave her 2 black eyes, whatever. That's really what took the cake. Other than that, it's just a regular fight, like you said. Regular broad, man. That's all it is. But when he laid it down, that's what took the cake, man. Just like the other white folks who down there fighting and all that, and that ain't nothing, man.
Well, let me just say something about that. In most cases, the police never take anybody to jail in those cases either.
Right.
And it has nothing to do with white and black, because black people fight downtown in the district down there and don't go to jail.
Right.
But yet we got a lot of people now collecting videos of white people fighting as if it's the same thing. Those are not felonious assaults. Those are combats. Those are mutual combat situations, which is different than somebody getting feloniously assaulted and not fighting back. And you know what I'm saying? It's you got people that were not in the beginning of that skirmish between those guys, shadow boxing. There were people in that situation that got beat up on that had nothing to do with the beginning of this thing, and that's why it's where it's at.
Yeah, you could have went like 7, 8 years, maybe 10 years ago. Why, man? They used to go live in Avondale, man. Every weekend, man, it was a fight, and they'll record. Police didn't go out there. I mean, it was some head busters, man. They really would go live. I'm like, man, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
And they street bar number 2, street fight number 3. I'm like, what? Every weekend they was having it, and the police never, not that I can know if they brought them on charges about the situation. And what you were saying and everything you do, and people, it's a lot of hating, and that's crazy, man, how people are. And I look at it, they saying that in the chat yesterday, damn, Wyatt said it's not safe to go downtown. I'm like, what?
Who said I said that? You mean on here?
In the Lincoln Ware chat, man.
There you go.
Seen, and I'm like, what the hell? Why would he say that?
Well, first
of all,
and then
they say, well, he's a Trumpster anyway. And not, man, what the hell is y'all talking about, man? That's why people some weirdos, man. They weirdos to me about the situation.
Here's my thing. I doubt that whoever said all those things, those few little things, I doubt that they would come over here and tell me, or I doubt that they would be able to prove what they saying where I'm wrong, or I doubt that they would be able to win a debate with me on what I talk about. I doubt all of that. And it's probably somebody that don't even listen to the show, or there's a couple agents that come on here and report back to their normal, they do boys and do girls. And all they do is report back. They're like they're really irrelevant And they know they are. And the only relevance that they have is to be able to go back and report. They're not independent individuals. They're followers. And in order for them to even be seen and heard, they got to come back with some juice. So that's how I see people like that, bro. If they had any type of personality of their own, they would make solid points. They don't need me to be a Trumpster. They don't need to put words in my mouth. When did I ever say it was not safe to be downtown? Did you hear me say that?
No.
Okay, I was just wondering, because I know I've never said that. However, I know it ain't. I know you got to keep your head on the swivel. I know that. I ain't gonna sit here and fake and act like shit ain't happening downtown. See, that's people who normalize dysfunction. Oh, it ain't that bad. We're under our murder rate. Well, we're over our murder rate right now, but they only, crime is down. I know how crime get down statistically. That's what I know. Okay, that's what I know. I know that they are being tricked. So I ain't necessarily mad at them, because all they gotta hear is what they hear from their leaders, or the people who they speak on. You see what I'm saying? Like, who they look up to. If who they look up to says it, then that's what it is. And they take their words to heart, because they don't think that these folks will lie to them. Like, there's no hidden agenda. Like, you do know that there's money to be made for certain people to have you believe what you believe. You might not be getting any other money, but upline that other upper shot, they getting some money for you to be not being engaged or being ignorant to certain things. They need you to be ignorant. They need you to be mad. They need you to discredit people. They need those people to do that. Because if some of them heard the truth, some of them long gone, twin. It don't matter what the truth is. Some people don't have a leg. They don't have anything of their own, so they have to be on somebody else's shoulder. And if that's what it is, bro, listen, I don't need any of them for nothing, so they don't bother me. But what bothers me is when they use me to try to degrade you, or drop, or anybody else who rise, or anybody that might have a different opinion of them. Then they try to use me and put me in there with you. Or here's the key word: Trump. Soon as they have no other argument, that's the trigger word that they all can relate to, that makes whatever nonsense they talking about make sense.
Right.
That's all it is, brother. And unfortunately, I called it 6th grade lunchroom talk years ago when we were talking right here. Don't talk to me about no damn Trump. Why? Don't talk to me about Biden. Let's talk about something different. Let's talk about what's really going on. Let's talk about that. You see what I'm saying? Let's talk about that. That's all I'm saying. I don't care that. All I'm saying to you is this. I started a whole platform where if you got a problem with what I'm saying, I'm right here. You don't have to call me coon, coconut, whatever the fuck them words. You don't have to call me any of that somewhere else. I would think a grown-ass man would tell me to my face, or at least come to the platform and call me that.
Right.
I would think that anybody that's brave enough to say it would be brave enough to bring it to me. That's all I'm saying. I ain't never called none of them no names. I ain't never said nothing that they said somewhere else and brought it over here and made it an issue. Not one time.
Hey, for the record, did you vote for Trump?
No.
Okay.
Now how many times have I said that on here?
So I'm just asking, man, so people can really know.
And if I did,
from the horse's mouth.
And if I did, whatever I did, hold on, let me just say this. Whatever I did what was best interest of my family. I don't give a shit about nobody on here and how it affects whatever go on, because none of y'all pay my bills. You see what I'm saying? Nobody pay my bills. Nobody aligns up how I work things in my life. So how I do things, just like if I'm a Christian or I'm an atheist or if I'm a Jew, whatever I choose to do, it's what's best for me and my family and my life. So don't have a problem with what religion I may choose. Don't have a problem with my policy, my politics. Don't have a problem with that. You see what I'm saying? That's just too damn personal. I don't have a problem with who you vote for. I don't have a problem with what religion you represent. Because I'm not your family. I don't control who come in and out of your house, who pay your bills, and how all that work. I don't control that.
Right.
It don't play a part in my life at all. So why should I be so shook up on the decisions that you make that's personal?
Right. You think all this is because political issues, man, or election time, that the leaders doing this or something like this, holding information?
What leaders you referring to, twin?
Local leaders or something.
They doing what they doing right now because they ain't got nothing else to do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. How could you have everything in your hands? How could you own everything and be in control of everything, and you still bitching and complaining about the things? It's almost like giving a kid, it's almost like giving a kid everything they want for Christmas. Right. They've been asking for the juju doll. They've been asking for the certain candy. They've been asking for everything all year, and then come Christmas, you give them everything they've asked for all year. Right. And then by January the 15th, they're bored with everything, and they start complaining about everything you just gave them because they're bored. How would you see that individual? You would think that they're a spoiled brat, wouldn't you? You would say, what's wrong with them kids? I don't say that. I say, what's wrong with the parent? What's wrong with the person that can't see giving everybody what they want, giving the person everything they want and everything that they need? What's wrong with them? No, what's wrong with me? What's wrong with my decision making, spoiling somebody, and then they don't even take advantage of all the gifts and all the things that they have? Within 2-3 weeks, they already bored. So I say to the people that voted for everybody that they voted for and can't see the gifts that they have, shame on you. That's your fault that you can't see who the decision makers are. You can't keep sitting here talking about racism and all that old shit when you actually control the dial in your own city. You can't do that. That sounds ignorant. That sounds dumb as hell. And they're in a crunch. They're in a real bad situation because some of them actually really do know that they look dumb as hell standing outside right now. They just doing it because you don't see them as being dumb. But they know this shit is they know that it's a weak position to be in right now. And they know that you don't know. So as long as you go with the march, as long as you go with the screaming and the hollering, as long as you stay aboard of the normal conversation, then you stay blind to the facts. And the facts are that the mayor could make this thing happen overnight if he really wanted to. And he's gone on radio and did Mr. Ware ask him the question if the Russian is going to be charged?
He ain't getting no specific answer.
Well, he gave you an answer. Right?
What did he say? Looking into it, we still doing our investigation.
He said there's an open investigation, and we're gonna let the process do what it does. Which is the right answer for that part. But that ain't what they were looking for, right? So this is what happens. The day after he says that, or 2 days after he says that, they apprehend defendant number 7. So he didn't lie. They're still charging people who were all involved. And I got a feeling that there's going to be even more people charged that they're looking for that has something to do with felonies. I'm going to tell you this right now. If they felt like the position of the Russian dude who slapped the dude, mug, whatever, if they felt like that was something that they wanted to pursue, it would have already happened. Don't you think? I mean, you know the criminal world, twin. I mean,
yeah.
Do you or do you not
they
believe?
Looking at, man, it's bogus paperwork. That's what it is. They know it, man. We charging. What he gonna do? 30 days in jail, a $200 fine.
He ain't gonna do he's not gonna do any jail time. And look, it's funny because people were bringing up like, oh well, he has a record from 2011.
I don't mean nothing.
Well, it does in a sense now when I make this point, because when I bring up somebody's criminal record or their past, and when you bring that up on us, then those same people that's talking about his past, then they say, well, what happened in the past don't mean nothing. See what I'm saying?
Well, I forgot you that is true, because I got fined. I mean, when they give you, when you take a plea deal or something like that, or go to trial, or plea deal, really, they say, well, in 1998 he did this, 2000 he did that. I'm like, what?
They do play. It does play a part.
The jury or whatever to convince the jury.
It does play a part. But now let's just say,
you're right about that.
Sure. Now let's just say, for instance, let me ask you a question, twin, if you don't mind. You got a second? Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask you this. So what happens if the prosecutor goes over and files charges on this man, the Russian guy, okay? And the charges are misdemeanors. What if it's what if it's just a misdemeanor charge, and he gets a fine of $200 and basically a slap on the hand, and he gets a fine for $150. Now the other people who are charged with felonious assaults for what they did to the other people, it's not what they did to the Russian dude. There was other people involved. What happens if one of them get 10 years and the Russian got a $200 fine? How is the community going to accept that? What's going to happen?
Ain't nothing gonna happen.
You don't think they're gonna? You don't think it's gonna be?
I mean, they're gonna have a little outpour and stuff. Like they go gang bang for a minute. Like, man, how the hell this happened? He did this, and it's gonna be an uproar. And then after that, we as black folks go forgive.
Right. So
we don't forget. We go forgive.
Well, here's the thing.
Like we do normal. That's all.
But is the conversation going to be, they did us worse than they did him?
Yeah.
Okay. So what do you think they're going to choose to do? Because if that's the uproar, when they say they did them, they did us better or worse than they did him. When they say they, who are they meaning? Who are the they?
The they is the local leaders and prosecutors.
Right, and that's their people.
And the people that y'all voted for.
Right,
and
that's
who
they.
So who is they? Yeah, they is them people that y'all voted for, them prosecute. They slam y'all with their 10 years. Go ask them they.
Right.
Go ask them that question.
Let me just say this to y'all. I'm gonna say this, and I haven't said this on the air yet. Okay. I want everybody to remember it came from here first. This is why I was nervous for Fanon Rucker to win the prosecutor's office in Cincinnati, Ohio, because he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's a smart guy. He's a former judge, and he would have been in the position that Pillock, that the lady is in right now. What's her name? Pillock position right now. And I haven't heard from him. I know he calls in or he makes comments sometime. Has anybody heard from him by any chance? Has anybody heard his opinion? Because he gives opinions on certain things. But has anybody heard he would do in a situation? Now, you got to understand, he's an officer of the court such as myself. However, we're not in a position of any type of decision making in a case like this. So my opinion is simply an opinion, and we're not in the system. We're not in the realms of the case. So unless he's picked up a client, if he's a defense attorney from one of these guys, he can't comment. Maybe that's the case. But my comment is this. I remember telling him on my show, bro, I really want you to win, but 10% of me don't want you to win. And I explained to him off the air first and on the air why I didn't want him to be in that position. And the other was, I really wanted him to win, but I didn't want him to face what's being done right now. And what I mean by that is this, twin. And I think I said it on the air. I was like, when something happens in the black community or when something jumps off, he's going to have to be professional. He's going to which he's always been professional. He's going to have to make really hard decisions that the black community is not going to like. This would have been that one thing. This ain't the only thing. It would have also been the kid that got shot in the police running out of the car with the gun, and the father killed the police officer in the drive. He would have had to make that decision as well. But he also would have had this decision to make. And he would have been one looking at all the evidence, collective evidence. He would have had to look at all of that. And I can't speak past what he would have done, but he would be in this same situation. My question is, my point is, I would love to hear what someone like Fanon Rucker, who ran for prosecutor, would have to say about something like this at this stage. Let me tell you what he would say, because he's a smart dude and he's a fair dude. He would say, folks, I don't have enough of the evidence. I'm not privileged to have enough of the evidence to be able to make a comment or a statement. He would say exactly what I'm saying, to be honest with you. He would say, let's let it play out. Let's see what those videos look like at 3CDC. Let's see what the prosecutor comes back with, because that prosecutor could file felony charges and it can come back as a no bill. Okay? They can do that just to pacify the black folks. But I think there's something more to it, and y'all ain't going to be happy. I just don't think you're going to be happy. So I think the position right now, Twin, is the collective leaders have shown me by them aligning up and being against the prosecute or saying the normal things that they say, it's just us and what we going to give y'all this time frame. I'm watching them align up to a certain situation. They're picking a side. They're picking the side of he ain't going to be charged. So now we got to act like we part of this black movement and we being done wrong. That's the side they moving on. That, and I'm telling you, I can see it. It's very transparent to me. I could be totally wrong, but I'm telling you, when you got people out here that can knock on the prosecutor's door and say, hey, what you got going on here? Where we at with this? What is it looking like? Oh yeah, we should probably have this guy. We should probably be having charged by next week. Right. We should probably have him charged by next week. They wouldn't be aligning themselves up and giving time frames and all that old shit. They wouldn't be doing that because they would be like, oh, just fall back, y'all. We cool. We cool. Anybody that's willing to come out and say some shit like, well, if y'all don't have nothing together in 24 to 48 hours, we got something in the chamber. You know what I'm saying? When you say something like that, you wild enough to say something like, fall back, y'all. We got this handled. No, this dude, they trying to stay on the side of the people as if they don't have anything to do with the decision on if this guy get charged or not. And it's just burning the candle from both ends. And I don't play that.
Right. Well, that's all I got, Wyatt.
Well, I appreciate you listening because you didn't say as much. You just listened to me today, and I appreciate that, Twin.
No, man, because I'm about sick of this, man.
I know,
it's
bro.
It's a public show, man. I'll be glad with
this is a perfect opportunity.
But I guess we got to stay on this for a minute or something.
No, but Twin, you missing the thing here, bro. Because I don't know if you're just not strategic with it or you just choosing not to do it. But for the people to attack you about how you do things and how you vote and who you choose and what you like and this,
man, I see it, but this the receipt y'all get. Well, y'all mad at me because I voted for Trump. But damn it, look what how y'all getting played. Y'all saying this about this man and this white man, bitch. Man, I see broad every day, man. I mean, not every day, but I've been, seeing fights and drunk people fight. This ain't nothing.
Well,
this
Twin,
ain't none.
Let me just say this to you, bro.
I just made Cincinnati famous again.
If you look at what's going on, if you look at the violence that's going on in the city right now, if Trump was to come into Cincinnati and bring the National Guard and not necessarily remove the police, but give them the support they need because they're 200 police officers shy, you would have people in that community of Cincinnati bitching and complaining about Trump. And all it would be is a move that would help black people from getting shot and killed in that city like they've been getting shot and killed. And those are people who will not appreciate a gift. They want, and I would say to you, go find a mother, go find the people, the family members of that young lady, that 34-year-old who just lost her life walking down the street and over the Rhine. Go ask her family if they would have wanted some people out on the streets to fill in for the 200 police officers shy.
Well, he tried in Chicago, remember that?
Well, that was Lightfoot who turned that down.
Yeah, Lightfoot said no, don't bring that
I know,
here. And what you call and Marino scared Mayor Affleck at. He said, hey, you don't do this, we ain't gonna give you no funds. That man jumped ship so quick and talking about some bring the troops. And I'm like, man, yo scary ass.
Yeah, well,
that's all good, man. You a scary ass. You got the right to say hell no.
Well,
you the mayor. You got the right to say no National Guard, no troops. You got the upper hand to say that.
Well,
you can talk to Dwayne. I don't need none of that in my city. You got the right to do that.
But didn't he take help from the governor?
I mean, I'm saying he got the right to say no. We don't need no troops. We don't need no damn National Guard. He got the right to say that to the governor because that's your city. You run that city.
Yeah, but
if it's something major, yeah, send them in. But a damn fight, man, y'all bogus as hell, man. For a fight, man, a fight. Why?
Well, it's not
a damn fight.
But Twin, it's not about that fight. I mean, it's partially.
It's about damn them Yankees, man.
Well,
that girl husband got stabbed and stuff, got killed down there. Dude broke his ankle. they look for her, listen to her crap.
Okay,
now the white girl Holly, they listen to her. But how many black people and stuff y'all been crying about? The black community been crying about. Now and you just like you say, you got your people in position. Now this the thanks we get.
But hold on,
nigga, hell with y'all.
Twin. You know I got love.
Go ahead,
I got love for you, brother. Bad. But I think you need to look at this a little bit different. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I think you need to look at this a little bit different. You know why? Because
why is that?
Here's what the difference is. Some people stand up for what happens to them, and some people don't. Some people look for leadership to do what they're supposed to do, and some people don't. You can't be mad at the Holly lady because she's going through certain channels to get things handled because her husband got stabbed in the neck.
I understand all that, Wyatt.
Hold on, bro. Hold on. Go ahead. You just said that. Let me ask you something. I don't mean to be disrespectful because I don't know the answer. What is the murder count in Cincinnati right now? Is it 38 or 9 or something like that?
It's 37, I thought.
It was 37, but we lost old girl the day before yesterday. And so let's just say for the argument's sake that they're at 38. Where were we? What was the murder count of city of Cincinnati before that fight in downtown Cincinnati?
It was a couple 35, 36. This higher than 23.
No. Hold on. Okay. Whatever the number was, it sure in the hell wasn't 0. Okay.
No.
So my point is this. I think what happens is we're magnifying this fight as if that's the reason why people are talking about crime now. But that's not it. Okay. Donna said 37. That's not it. It's a collective situation, bro. People have been talking about the banks is off the chain for 2 years. People been talking about what's been going on down there for 2 years. We've been talking about it over here on this platform. The fight is one thing that just took it to another level. It was caught on video and it was in the middle of the street. The lady got laid out. It was just way more than what people was capturing of teenagers and stuff like that down there doing. Bro, the crime didn't just start at the fight point. Things have been escalating to this point. At a certain point, you got to say enough is enough and you got to make it what it is. You don't want that thing that happened at that fight. You don't want that to happen again. You don't want it to happen. If you at 37 homicides, by the time that fight happens, at what point do you start saying we have an issue here? If your homicides are showing that you're going to exceed what they were last year, at what point do you say we have a problem here? Just because you maybe tied last year or maybe come in 5 short, that don't mean crime is better. That's why they trying that bullshit over in Washington, D.C., talking about crime is down 23%. But tell that to the victims of crime in D.C. Don't hit me with no numbers, because numbers don't tell the truth about everything, especially when you're working things through the court system. Do you understand what I'm saying to you, bro? So look, Some people get played by people by talking statistics. Others get played by people by imagining that this is not as bad as it really is. So, and the only people that fall for that are people that's usually not victimized. Trust me, because victims of crime don't feel nothing like the people that have been convinced that nothing's going on. If you've been a victim of crime, bro, all the fight and everything else hit totally different right now.
Yeah.
If you ever been downtown and got your chain snatched off of you and some kids ran off with it, or if you ever got kicked or somebody stole your ATM card downtown or something, you feel totally different about how everybody else feel about this right now.
All right.
So I'm saying to you this, don't get mad at the people that's trying to make some changes. People that are trying to do things because they got victimized. Like, for instance, have you seen the family of the young lady on the video? The lady that got shot and killed, that got shot in the back, walking home in OTR. Have you seen her family yet? Have you seen her family on the news talking about that yet? I have.
Yeah.
Now, what do you think her family feel like right now? Do you think her family is saying we don't need more police? We cool. We don't need National Guard or whatever. I don't know. We don't need all that. We cool. How do you think she feel about that fight down there? See, I bet you everything that she's thinking is totally different than how we feel right now. because she's a victim. That family is victimized. All right.
Yeah.
And when you have people that's saying, well, there's not really a problem because we on pace to do what we did last year, or we gonna come up a little bit short, or we gonna come up a little bit higher, just a little bit. We okay. It ain't that bad. That's bullshit. That's, oh, it's only carjackings right now. Well, what happened to the last carjacking that went national in Cincinnati? The little boy got shot and killed by the police. Then what did that do? It dominated another effect. Now the father who lost a child is now losing his life because of what he did. And then he hurt a family because that police officer lost his life. See what I'm saying, bro? It's a domino effect of dumb shit.
Right.
That's all it is. And when people pretend and act and minimize the real problem, this is the outcome. And then when people come in and say, hey, man, we got to change this and this and this and that, now we mad at the people that want to make the biggest change, that want to make the change. We mad and upset because they ain't saying it the right way. We mad and upset because somebody is sitting in the presidency, and this is the reason why this shit is happening. Crime been happening in Cincinnati before even people been talking about Trump, been talking about Biden, all of them. Somebody got to be the person that's going to change. And then when you got leadership in office and they're talking about this is just being politicized and all that. Well, if you didn't have such going on in your city, it couldn't be publicized. Don't get mad because somebody got something to use against you.
Don't you figure that should be all the way equal across the board, though?
What?
White and black?
What?
If all lives matter and everything?
I believe
because her cry and everything has been, people been victimized all across Cincinnati and in the world.
I say that all the time.
So I guess it take a white person to come to y'all platform and really push the issue on this when you get other people pouring out.
Well, let me just say this real fast. Dina says there has to be a better way. Excuse me, Shreemu. She says there has to be a better way other than bringing in the National Guard. Let me just say this to you. When I made that reference to National Guard, I was not referencing that to the fight. I'm talking about when you have 200 police officers shy in a city and they can't hire people because nobody wants to do the job, and then the current people on the job don't really want to do the job. You have to think of a different strategy. Okay, you got to think, what can we do to assist these cities? All right, because as somebody that knows who's going to be victimized more than anybody, I know that those victims it's going to be people that look like me. So why would I be against something that's going to possibly help my people and keep them from being victimized? Now, there are people that want you to believe that when assistance come, that they coming for you. Now, that's a standard play. People that don't want change always think change is for the worst. They always have you thinking that when you look, some people don't want you to be a millionaire, baby, because our family we've been broke our whole life. That's just what we gonna do, baby. We just gonna be broke. You can't be no millionaire, because if you be a millionaire, no, there's strings that come attached with all that money. See, you see what I'm saying? They always will downplay the way that you want to be better and do things, change how things are going. There's always gonna be somebody that's gonna convince you that change is bad for you. That $1 million ain't gonna come with no good intentions. You make $1 million, you gonna change. What? How about maybe I make $1 million and maybe you're changing? You see what nobody ever looks at it that way. They want you to think the change is evil and bad, even if the change is for your benefit.
Right.
So that's all I'm saying. And maybe the change seems, maybe the change seems a little dramatic. Maybe the change is a way that you never imagined it would be. But my point is, how do you know if you never try a change? Do you get what I'm saying to you, twin? It's like the people that bitch and complain. Millionaires ain't shit. These millionaires, they don't even know a millionaire. Ain't sat at the table with a millionaire. They only know the impression of a millionaire by what someone told them. And how would you know how it is to be rich? You ain't never been rich. So how could you say something about somebody that, number one, you don't know, number two, you don't know the lifestyle, you don't make the same decisions that they make, and the only way that you know these people is through third or fourth conversation about them by somebody else who fit the same description as you. They not rich either. You get what I'm saying to you, brother?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so that's what I say to people that speak out on things that they heard and that they talking about and they learn through other people. And it's very seldom that people who talk the loudest are speaking from experience. Most of them are speaking from a position of how they learned it from somewhere, not through experience.
Okay. All right, well, keep listening, man. Keep doing you, man.
All right, brother, I appreciate you. Thanks for engaging with us, man. I appreciate you. All right, brother, thank you. That was Twin. So I hear LG's on. He said that there's going to be somebody else put it in there too, that there's going to be a press conference at 4:30 today by the mayor. Fine, good, great. Answer questions. That's good, great. I'll be tuning in. Someone tell me what channel so I can find it on my phone. Denise Davis, excuse me. She said, how do you explain that to children under age 18? Mommy was walking home from work and was shot 15 to 20 times. What type of hatred is that? Watched her grow up, and this is really effed up. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you, sis. I didn't know you were here. So this is what I did earlier. I don't know if you were here. Here is the individual that the police put out saying possible suspect, and they trying to find out if anybody knows of this individual. That's who was down the street or walking down the street that day. I'll read it. It's from WCPO Channel 9. They say police are asking for the public to help in identifying a suspect in the death of Krishanda Wynn, a mother of 5 who officer says was innocent bystander shot in the back while walking in Over the Rhine last week. That's the picture of the suspect. I'm not saying that he's guilty. I'm not saying that he's innocent. I'm saying that's the suspect that the police, y'all know they have cameras all over the place, right? Denise Davis, she says, no press conference. I agree. But you see all the leaders stand in line talking about the guy with the smack need to go to jail. You see what I'm saying to you, sis? You see how that's more important because they get in with the people and they can outrage. If they go for the things that really, really, really matter, then they would have to evaluate how they're doing things, sis. They would have to explain why there are 200 police officers shy. They'd have to explain a whole lot of things that they're lacking as a leadership. See, there's a very simple, easy answer to the smack in the face, but they're keeping their people ignorant. The harder target is how do we stop the shootings in our streets? Why aren't they talking about it, sis? Because they can't manage it. They can manage the people, but they can't manage the hard targets. They can't manage this crime out here. They can't manage what's really going on in this world, in their city, sis. They can't. Trust me. Because a lot of the people that are getting paid and standing in the way of progress are there on purpose. You understand what I'm saying? And when you start talking about helping the people, the victims, oh no, you can't help the victims. You can't help the victims. See, the victims, we need the victims. We need them because they're our story. The victims are the story. The victims are the people. So when you have people coming in and saying things like, we really need to stop the crime in certain, if this was happening in somebody answer this from out of 52 communities in Cincinnati, how many communities have the same type of violence in them? 5? 5 do the same shit. Five do the same type of shit. What's going on with the other communities? Why aren't they facing the same type of crimes? Why aren't they doing the same type of stuff? There's some people that want you to believe they are. They are. They doing drive-bys in Oakley. No, they not. No, they not. Oh, wait, they is Golf Man in Cincinnati? They doing drive-bys in Hyde Park. They doing drive-bys in Indian Hill, bro. No, they're not. When was the last time you heard somebody in Oakley getting shot walking down the street, going home, coming from work, that had 5 kids and got shot in the back 20 times? And not a leader came out. And now we mad. We mad at people that move into those same communities. We mad at the white people that move in over the Rhine and move the needle of change. No, I invested in this community. I live in this community. I'm going to push the issue of what's going on in my community. See, the problem is when the crime was happening in our community, we just dealt with it different. That's the truth. The truth is we were victimized by our people in our community, and we treat the crime different in our community. Now that the white people are moving into your community, they see it as their community as well, and they're going to deal with it like it would deal with it if it was in Mason and happened. It's the same thing. What is that area? Oakley? Or is it Hyde Park when they said, I mean, look at how your leadership handled Hyde Park over. Is it Oakley or Hyde Park? I think it was Hyde Park. See, they can make black folks do whatever they want them to do because black folks just going to roll with it. But when you told white people over there, they had, no, this is not what you about to do to my neighborhood. We about to have meetings and we're going to sign petitions and we're going to make things right because we invested in this. This is our equitable situation. We dealing with it the way we want to deal with it. We don't care who you are. And if you try to change how we going to do things over here, we'll vote your ass out of office. Oakley got their way, didn't they? Oakley got their way. Now we tripping because crime is happening in a black neighborhood and white people are dealing with it a little bit different because they're being victimized in these white neighborhoods or in black neighborhoods because they bought into the black neighborhoods and they're dealing with it and reporting it and pushing the issue further than we would or what that we have, and we think that they getting special treatment. Let me ask you something. When was the last time somebody pushed, and I can tell you one right now, Black Fox, her son was, y'all know this, her son was shot and killed. Okay. This is one of them sisters that I'm like, damn, you know, who I don't want to say confided in me because I don't want to go there and we're not going to put all this personal shit out here. But when your son's shot and killed by a felon or somebody that ain't supposed to be on the street, she see a lot of this shit way different than a lot of black folks do. She see it a whole lot different because she's a victim. Her family's been victimized. And all I tell you, all you people that got all these opinions about how people are coons and sellouts and all that old shit, go talk to a victim of all this shit that you defending. You might not think you defending it, but when you say something the opposite of what needs to happen, and if it would have never happened if these things was in motion, go talk to one of these victims and go see how long Black Fox had to sit in court. Go see how many places she had been misled about her court dates and how long she had to look at the prosecutor and the defense attorney. And I ain't gonna throw the defense attorney name up because it's somebody that you love. And he played her. I mean, she's watching this man defend the guy who killed her son. She went to court every day. I know more than one. How many do you know? How many do y'all know? I know more than one. It just hit different when you the victim. It hit different. And I'm just going to tell you right now, the saddest thing in the world is to sit back and watch people. And you can convince other people that what I'm saying is off point, not on target. If he have his way, black folks would be getting locked up. No. When was the last time you seen an innocent black man in Cincinnati get locked up and it's been an issue? Like, just somebody put it out there. Most people we see that's getting locked up in Cincinnati, I ain't saying they're guilty, but they in the mix of some shit. You got 200 police officers shy. You got shooting going on the streets. And there's people that want you to believe that it ain't that bad. It ain't that bad. 37 homicides. Ain't that bad. Out of the 37, how many are happening in those 5 communities? Maybe 6 communities out of the 52. And it's sad that black folks have a problem with somebody wanting to make a change. You see change as being something wrong. And it's sad for me to see so-called leaders loking up for some bullshit, but won't loke up for some real shit. I've been saying that for 5 years on the platform. So, if you're new here, there ain't nothing new about what I'm saying right now. I've been saying it for 5 years, since March of 2020, right here. I've been saying it's crazy to me that y'all have press conferences every time somebody do something to us or we feel unjust about something. But then as soon as something happens in our community, which is much worse, much more detrimental to what's going on in our community, y'all don't stand tall on that shit. It's amazing to me. Not a press conference about that young lady. They put the lady's family on the news, but I ain't heard no gathered. I haven't seen what I'm saying about this. You ain't got no pastors, none of that shit coming out, talking about some enough is enough. Nah, it's the same old lucky song and dance. It's the same old shit, right? Because that's what you expect. But you know what the white lady did? And I hate to say it like that, but that's how y'all say it. You know what the white lady whose husband got stabbed in the throat, in the neck, and he died? You know what she did? She pushed the issue. She put the mayor on blast. She pushed the issue just like our leaders. If our leaders aren't that lady should be running our community if you want some answers. Get mad at me if you want to. She got answers. She found out that somebody cut their ankle bracelet. This man had a domestic violence charge 2 weeks prior, or a week prior, than her husband getting stabbed in the neck. That man was on the run for cutting his ankle monitor off. When the police came up to him, they should have took him off the jail. He should have never had an opportunity to kill that lady's husband. And y'all mad because she's getting special treatment? That ain't special treatment. That's just finding out the facts and saying, hey, this should have never happened. And this is the reason why it should have never happened. And I'm speaking out on it. You know what our leaders are saying? The white man who slapped that guy should be going to jail. You got 24 to 48 hours to put charges on him, or it's going to be something in the chamber. That's what our leaders are saying. The fuck out of here. And then go to white radio and downplay it's something in the chamber. I tell you, boy. And then I ain't mad because it's going to be some people that say some shit like, I'm with you. I'm with him. Hell yeah, let's get out there and let's do some shit. Let's tear some shit up. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. I don't know what to say about that. I mean, it's very easy. It's crystal clear to me what's going on, why people standing up. Y'all done dusted off some of y'all leaders that go out in these streets and parade around and protest and shit. And you don't understand the biggest protest in the world. The biggest protest in the world is stop spending your money. Who is that? Let me see. Hold on. Somebody said something. Carolyn Smith says, someone hasn't read Sherry's latest post. Who is Sherry? Who is Sherry? Is that the lady? Is that the lady whose husband died? Carolyn? I just know her last name is like Henninger or something like that. Henninger. I don't know her first name. If that's the case, who is Sherry? Did Sherry say something in here? No, you said post. So what was said? Vernon says, I said it before and I'll say it again. I feel the lady whose husband was stabbed in the neck and killed in OTR, but just because she had that loss, it doesn't make her an expert on crime prevention. No, it doesn't make her an expert on crime prevention, but it made her come down on who was accountable for that man to be on the street. Like, somebody has to be accountable. Look, let's step back a shade on that. That man cut his ankle monitor off, home incarceration monitor off. There was a call to the police department. I put this on the police department. There was a call a week prior to him stabbing that lady's husband. There was a call on a domestic violence situation. He was at her apartment, at this lady's apartment, his girlfriend's apartment. Domestic violence came in, or a domestic violence situation happened. The police came in and they didn't take him to jail. They ran his name and all of that. There was a collapse in the system. They should have known that this man he had no business being on the street. He violated his release agreement. He cut his ankle monitor off and was on the run. They should have known his name in the system, and they should have booked him in the system. That's what I was talking about. She's not getting special treatment. You see what I'm saying? She just brought attention to where they dropped the ball. The other bad decision is this. The system that allows a person to come out of jail when they're really not ready, that affects you, Carolyn Smith, Mama Birch, Purple Pros. It affects Randall Wyatt. When you have people who are in jail and they release them from jail too soon, shock probation or any of that, and they really not supposed to be out here, that is a perfect example of somebody that shouldn't have been out. And then the system failed again by once he got out, he was okay with getting in trouble again, cutting his ankle monitor off because he didn't want to follow the rules. And then what happened? He committed a murder. See what I'm saying? Are we doing that in the Black community? Are we doing what she did? And if so, let it be known. I'm not saying we're not. I'm telling you that I've made comments on this platform telling everybody where I see a system problem. I see a system problem where judges are allowing people to get out on OR bonds with gun charges, low bonds on gun charges. I've been saying it for 5 years on this platform. And they drop them off in what neighborhood? When they release from jail, they go to what neighborhood? And I've put up several examples of how it's bad. And I had the receipts. I don't want it to be that way, but the receipts show that most people that are out here shooting and doing shit usually have pending cases. Okay? They usually either out on the run or they have pending situations. That's why I ask y'all to do your research on that fight that happened downtown. Go do your research on how many people are on probation already. Go do your research on that. Or do your research on how many of them have pending cases. One of them just got out of jail from doing 10 years and has a pending gun charge before that fight even happened. Was fighting a gun charge during that fight. You okay with that? Oh, your leaders won't tell you that. So you can't even make the proper decision on what's really going on out here. You can't make you can't even make a quality decision. You can't even assess the situation if you don't know all the factors. Because like I said before, some people want to keep you ignorant. And as long as they can keep you ignorant, you'll fall for anything. Let me go to the phone lines for this final call, and then we get out of here. Good afternoon, caller. This is Wyatt. Who am I speaking with?
Hey, what's up, brother? This is CK, man.
CK, good afternoon, bro. I appreciate you holding. What's going on? You the last caller
Man,
today.
I had to make sure everything was good, man. Over there, trying to get everything together. My organization just got took over by a new company. You feel me?
Your what?
So when they took over my organization.
Oh, your organization. Okay. You okay? You still
Yeah,
there?
so yeah. I'm doing paperwork. It's like in the first little phase. So it's a little iffy at the beginning with the money.
Only if you want
Oh,
it.
you trying to get the money thing right.
Right, but they say they're gonna have people on deck to write out the extra, because they might have missed out a couple of days on it. I work for the juices and fruit bag folks. They be a little janky on the money sometimes.
Oh man, no, you gotta get the money right. You gotta get the money right?
Yeah, but you don't have those. You the type of person when I work for you, people that work for you get paid. You don't do that janky promoter thing. You don't strike me as that type of guy.
No, I'm fair in compensation. I'm pretty fair.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Be fair at all times. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. If you treat people fair and respectable, you don't have to go through this type of larceny. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think this, man. I'm the type of guy who runs a business where I try to prepare people that work for me or work in our company. I try to prepare them to be able to work for themselves. I try to put them in a direction where they don't have to be with me forever. They can start something on their own.
Right. Now that's smart, but that's smart though.
Yeah, but everybody won't do it. Everybody's not for that, and I'm cool with that. But I try to put them in an equitable situation. I try to pay. My thing is, I like incentive pay. I like to try to pay people based on performance.
Yes. Right. And like you said, just look at the listeners of your show, right?
Okay.
Look at their financial situation before Wyatt and after Wyatt. You know what I mean? Look at their influx of cash because he's talking cash money. You know what I mean?
Well,
from the soul. He talk. Just look at the influx. Well, Remember when they first met you, what they was working at Embassy Suites?
I don't know.
Embassy Suites making $11 an hour.
So are you saying? Are you saying, CK, that since you've been listening to the show, your income has gone up?
Hell yeah!
I never knew.
Come on now.
I'm serious. I never knew, bro. I think you bullshitting me, but okay.
No. You got hold on. You have to be more smart. See, that's what's making me. I told you, I'm top 5 guy people all time, right? So the only thing holding you back is you. You trying to figure stuff out. No, you don't have to figure it out. I'm telling you who I am.
I buy that.
I'm top 5, one of God's people. So when I tell you something, you got to stop trying to be like, well, yeah, I was effed up when you first started. Remember how I used to have suicidal thoughts and everything? I don't even think like that no more. Well, you remember me.
Good.
You act like you don't even know who I am no more.
I know who you are, bro. I know.
You remember when you first met me, I was so down on my luck. And I was like that. And after you kept on like, hold on, brother. You like, something wrong. After listening to your financial strategies, you know how to get money out here in the streets. What? You know how to teach money. Hold on, let me clarify with it. Let me be clear.
Yeah, I know you mean it a different way.
You know how to teach people. That's what I mean.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that sounds a little bit better.
Yeah, because we got to think. Remember, I was $11 loser when I started. Now I'm double digits. I wasn't even driving. I was listening to you on Metro.
Oh, okay.
So remember, I need you to listen clear, sir. The second part of life, when God gave me life again, that's when it get real. That's when you learn how to live on your second life. I'm only 3 years old.
Okay.
Remember that. Remember I died. So you have to learn when you coming back. He did not want to take me because remember I didn't have any children. So maybe he sent my old ass back to have kids.
Oh, okay. All right.
Do you understand?
Yeah, I hear you. I don't know what you want me to say to that, bro. That's kind of like a testimony, I guess. But from you.
Yeah. No. I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. This is how you are doing your giving back. They always say, "What have you done for your community?" Just keep doing everything you're doing. You know what I'm saying? You're doing stuff with good intentions. You don't have bad intentions behind it. So, like I said, if you touch one, that one will touch some. So that's why I always just try to affect one. But I remember you taught me even about a month ago. You said, no, I try to get a few. I don't know what the hell you said. You said you try to catch a few fish when you go fishing. I was like, I just want to catch one big ass fish. He was like, hell no. And remember, I never knew how to, my father taught me wrong.
I think I know what you're talking about. I don't know. I think I know what you're talking about. I think I get it. I remember one time us having a conversation about grab as many fish as you possibly can. Don't just be satisfied.
Yeah.
I do remember that because you got to understand that, there's going to be some days that the fish aren't there. So you want to have some in reserve. So it was about capitalizing on opportunity. I believe that's what we were talking about at that time. I remember that.
Yeah, the whole point of your show is let the people see how much they hate me. Look at the comment section. They hate me, and I haven't did nothing to them. But you have to understand the reason I'm hated because I show so much respect towards you, and I'm black. They want me to disrespect you. They don't like when I honor you and be like, "Oh yeah, you're a good father." You remember the guy called in right after me and said, "Stop giving him compliments. I hate you." Only black people will disrespect you for complimenting another black man. That's why we got to do it. And that's why the violence is so happy. I sent them in a rage by showing what you accomplished. You know what I mean? But yeah, just stop the violence by that. Show these people who they are. They hate to see you win. They love to see you die as a black man. They love to see you broke in the penitentiary. They hate to see like when you pull up and you eating on the balcony. Come on, address that for us. But yeah, you have a good one, man. God bless you, man. I'm about to get this paper, man.
Okay,
Much
brother.
love to the
I
family,
appreciate
brother.
you, man. Get enough for me. Get a couple dollars and send me some.
How much you need? About 38? What you need? About $38?
30. How'd you know? That's exactly what I need is 38. How'd you know that number?
I seen you on the big screen. You look like you need about $38.49.
Yeah, shit.
When you're doing
and the
your
change.
show.
Send it. Send me that change too, that 49 cents. Add that to it.
All right. God bless you.
All right, brother. I love you, man. Talk to you soon.
All right.
Thanks for engaging, bro. I can't end it like that, man. If somebody have another call, I'll get another call in 5 minutes if we can. I'm not going to end the show on that phone call. I'm ready to go, but if somebody else has a call, I missed a couple calls, feel free to call in and I'll end it on a different note. Feel free to give me a call. If you feel like you got to get something off your chest, or you feel like that you need to say something to me, or you feel like that I misrepresented something of what you talking about, call me. Call. Let's discuss it. Or if you got something to say about me somewhere else and you feel like something is wrong in what I say or how I do things, call me. Let's discuss it. Maybe not today. If you don't have if you can't get it in 5 minutes, I understand. Maybe tomorrow. But all the computer talking and all that shit, that's a reflection of you. Not me. I've been here. I come in every day. And I've answered the phone for everybody that ever called. I've answered the call for the people that you're sick on me. You think they about to do something, say something crazy. I've been here 5 years. From my understanding, there's a press conference coming on today. 4:30. I'm gonna check that out. I guess ain't no calls coming, so I guess I'll peace everybody else. All I'm gonna say to you is if you really want it, all you gotta do is call. I ain't saying we got to fight and argue and all that. Let's just come to a common ground. But if you're gonna say that I said something or did something or I've guided some people in some wrong directions, just call me and tell me how and where and when. And tell me how I don't like black people to my face. Just tell me. Or if you want to call me a coon on other platforms, call and tell me I'm a coon. And tell me, at least be able to articulate how I'm a coon. What's that? What is it? Albino coon. And how do you know what I'm saying if you don't watch the show? If you don't watch the show, how do you know what I'm saying? Explain it. Explain if you never watch this platform, how you gonna go somewhere and talk about what I said? Explain. Feel free to call back. I disconnected the phone. I was about to piece everybody out. Tanika, you getting any orders? I probably shouldn't have said that on the line because she got her thing. Peace and love to everybody. Talk to you tomorrow, same time. If you got a call me tomorrow.
Only if you want it, yes I really want it. Only if you want it, yes I really want it. Only if you want it, yes I really want it. Only if you want it, yes I really want it.
Can I get an eye open up, easy love?